Welcome to the Hollow Chord Podcast.
Yeah, I heard. I listened a bit.
To Daniel.
To Daniels,
Yeah.
yes, Daniel.
Yeah. The king of Delco.
Yeah, he really is, though. He's salt of the earth, that one.
And I wanted to show you something real quick. Like, ever since we've become, like, best friends now.
I know, he's fucking stealing my best friend. You can't even be mad at him either.
Oh, at Danny?
Yeah.
You can be mad at Danny.
No, I can't.
But he sends me shit like this.
Yeah,
You know?
good.
I love that motherfucking attitude. Bring me that sweet on. You turn me up and you bring me around.
There it is.
I'm ready to fuck the
Yeah. He used to do that on his, like, story. A little
Yeah.
less naughty, just a little.
Yeah.
But he would go, "Good morrow." Yeah. Brethren, greetings, noblemen. He's got this whole like medieval character. I would kill to see him at like the Renaissance Fair.
Oh Jesus!
Just turn up
Oh, my
Dan
God.
Malley at the Renaissance. Noble, greetings, noblemen.
He could probably get his own fucking booth there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
his
got
own
this
show.
oh
too.
God.
You know, we'll make a deal. We'll pay for the ticket, but we get to record it.
Oh my God. That would be hilarious.
Do you have to pay for booths there? Is that how that works?
For a booth? Well, yeah,
For
that's
the
like
booth,
a whole
yeah, for
scenario,
sure.
I think.
Yeah.
But just attending and drinking mead.
Yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
dressing up. He could
Yeah.
pretend to be a character.
Dude, we
Oh,
could
can you
just buy
imagine
him a
him in
ticket
some
and follow
king
him around with a
outfit? But it's like Delco
Uh-huh.
King, but like medieval Delco
That'd be
King.
perfect.
Throws back a couple meads, and he's
Yeah,
off
that
to
would
the
be
races.
amazing.
Yeah, that'd be good. Like,
Yeah, he would be part of the
stuff.
checkerboard or the chessboard.
Oh,
and
yeah.
nobody would even notice.
He's pretty good at improv too, so he
Yeah.
could just hop right in.
Yeah.
We gotta make this happen. We
Where
gotta
he
film
gets
it.
it from.
Yeah, that would be incredible. They're only open until like Halloween, I think. So you have to wait till next
we'll
year.
wait till next year.
Yeah.
It takes time to plan this.
Yeah.
It's like crashing a wedding. You don't just
Oh
go.
goodness, yeah. You do.
If you want them.
check. Yeah, I don't need them.
We can hear each other. We're close enough.
When did you start this? It's fairly new, right?
We started back in 2018.
Oh, so you've been doing this for a minute.
We
the
did, and then
podcast.
we had a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah.
He had personal things going on,
Yeah, I feel like everyone's coming back from hiatuses anymore.
Yeah.
and then
Maybe I do want these. You make them look good.
he was trying to get me back into it. He's like, we have to start podcasting again.
Yeah.
And that was like months where I'm like, we should get this going again.
Yeah.
We should get this going
Right,
again.
and
You
originally,
need it. You need it. We should get this going again, guy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
always need that guy.
But it took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and originally, like, this whole setup was at my apartment, and then, like, my house is getting way too chaotic. and,
Yeah.
you know, with COVID, my kids are home full time.
forget it,
and
yeah,
all that
it's too
stuff. And I
much.
was like, there's no way.
For sure.
And then we needed ideas too, because we didn't want to. Back before, we were just doing it just us three, and we didn't really have guests on that much.
Right. Well, it's fun, and you have something else to rely on.
Right. So
Seriously.
when we came back, I was like, we need to start off with something that's going to be cool and
For sure.
different from what we were doing. So we found. I came across. Do you know Eddie Doyle?
Yes, of course.
So I came across Eddie Doyle on YouTube. Just I didn't even know
Mm-hmm.
that he was local until I dug a little bit deeper. I was like, this guy's from Springfield.
Yeah.
So I was like, no
That-
shit.
he's
So
a hustler.
and I reached out to him, and
What
he
even
was-
Don't bang your water
even
bottle.
implored you to yeah. Whatever implored you to actually dive deeper.
into
Like
Eddie.
Eddie, yeah, finding out he was from Springfield.
He puts it right out there.
I think because his videos, like where he's driving, like a lot of it was,
Yeah.
In Delco and
or in Philly, too.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean it's fairly
Well, he's like
readily
a
available
legit
information
Uber driver, right? So that was like that was his shtick. And then once he got his grandma on there,
Oh, yeah.
that's what it was. It's like, you're funny. She's funnier.
Oh, yeah, she's the best.
Yeah, that lady. Oh, shit, R.I.P. She was a gem.
Yeah, she was great for sure.
So that was my cue to ask him if he wanted to be on our first episode back, and he was like, "Yeah, of course."
Oh, that's
I would
awesome.
do it. And then ever since then, he's been listening. He's just, he's like, "I can't believe how, professional you guys seem, and you guys do your homework." And I was like, "It's not that deep."
Yeah, for sure.
So do you know Eddie personally?
No, we haven't met yet, but we have a lot of mutual friends in common. And he approached me a while ago about doing something with Aunt Terri and Mary Pat. So I had some apprehensions, but so I decided just to make my own content at that point. But I would still collab with Ed for sure, but just Ed and I.
Can we talk about that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
This would be a
I
good
think it's
start.
the elephant in the room.
Right, I don't want to
Yeah.
cross the line or anything, but
I don't
make
think
you feel
we're
uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're not going to get hateful or anything
No,
like that.
I want to be very clear. So everyone always wants to know. I'm Talia Genevieve, also known as Aunt Terri. I started the Aunt from Delco thing, and Aunt Mary Pat came afterwards. These are the facts.
Okay.
I wish Troy is his real name. I wish him the best. I hope he is happy. And, I never wish anybody harm. I don't give a shit that he is a drag queen. I think it's amazing. I love drag queens. I do. It did sting when a man got credit for my joke. And to be fair, I listened to the podcast with Danny on it. You guys hit the nail on the head. He'd marketed it better, and he quit his job to do it. And I wasn't going to do that. At least that's what I read, that he quit his job. So maybe he had, it's just more of the right place at the right time factor, or more of a desire to just do what he's doing. But I think I do it better.
So I will agree, and we've talked about it, that you do it better.
Thanks.
Yeah, I agree.
He
with
just
that for
markets it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with
Yeah.
that. I can't even argue.
Yeah.
So he just markets it better, and he's already a professional drag queen and a good one. So he has that under his belt already. So just being a Delco drag queen was like the look and the photo shoots and the outfits are just already there for him. Where it's like, I'm thrifting for everything, which is great. And the wig I already had, it was my grandmom's. So honestly, and another thing to speak to why maybe he was more successful, numbers wise, is he, oh shit, what was I going to say? What did I just say
Why he was more successful numbers-wise.
before that?
The clothes.
Being a drag queen, you were thrifting.
Yeah.
Here's already-
My grandmom's wig. It looks just like my hair.
Okay.
So people think that Terry's a real fucking person. And they're like, why is this 50-year-old woman like up on the internet like this? And then they see me, a hot woman, and they're like, oh, it's a joke. Like, she's funny, but people think she's a real person.
As for
whereas
him,
you
you
guys
can
said
tell-
he's a spectacle.
Right.
It's more of a
And he has the
novelty.
5 o'clock shadow
It's
all
obvious.
the time.
Yeah.
Like, you
so
know
how
he's a
funny
man.
because
Yeah.
you know it's a joke.
Right.
Whereas people have met me face to face when I'm in characters, Aunt Terry, and still don't know.
Oh yeah, you could pull that
And
off.
that's just a testament to how talented I am as Aunt Terry. But it's like, you don't see the nose ring or like the hand tattoo. It's like, okay.
I guess that becomes a problem when you're trying to make it a comedic
Yes.
situation. Yeah. When
Yeah.
you seem real, like a real person, then
Yeah.
it's not that funny.
Yeah, and you, what you said with the podcast with Danny Malley was like maybe she was a little turned off by the fact that it's like, I know he posts every single day, which is like, God bless. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you have the time for that. Like, I fucking wish.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
you do have an idea because you do this, but like, it is so exhausting and draining to come up with comedy content every day. And then when COVID happened, it was like. And I'm a very deeply feeling person. Like that was a lot for me. I lost family members.
Oh, wow.
Like so it was just, and it was fine at first. Tiger King came out. There was time
yeah.
to do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that I didn't quit my day job, and they paid me the entire quarantine. So
All right.
I was lucky to have that and be able to stay home and still eat.
Yeah.
But and I had time. And then when the Black Lives Matter movement was popping off, I was like, you know what? Who am I to take up real estate on the internet right now? I didn't have jokes.
Yeah.
So I just gave myself permission to take a back seat and just focus on myself and my mental health.
Okay.
And I'm really glad that I did. And if you've been paying any attention lately, like Aunt Terry's been poking her head out of the sand. So stay tuned, hon.
Yeah, like I don't see why I don't
Taking
see
my
why
sweater off.
Aunt Terry couldn't have been like it definitely seems like it should be like a Saturday Night Live.
Yes, my dream would have been to be on with Tina Fey because she's from Delco. She's
Yeah.
an Upper Darby queen herself.
So what do you think would happen if this isn't real? He's not behind that door, but what if we brought him out? Like, what would that conversation be like?
I thought about that. I've actually like penned a potential letter that I wasn't actually going to send, but it's basically like why did you steal me like so blatantly? Like, or just like we were saying before this, like I didn't invent the Delco accent,
Of course,
but the fact
yeah.
that it was like you took the aunt title, I say Scartini, then you say Scartini. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, the essence of the joke is kind of
yeah.
robbed of your character.
Yeah, yes. It was so similar when it
Yeah.
first started. And I know he's taken his own lane, but it's like whenever I was public about something, he would take it and just spend more time on it than I could and then got more recognition and the blue check mark. Like, I was like, are you fucking... All right.
Coveted blue check mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are your histories with, or what's your history with Troy?
I don't have any. There is that one story. Dan messed it up a little bit. But I was in the same room as Troy one time. I had already been doing Aunt Terry. So on the other podcast, Danny said that he saw me there and then took the character. That was not exactly true. We had both been doing our respective characters for a while. This was maybe 2018, but so I worked at iHeartMedia for 10 years, and we could talk about my time in that then too, because that's interesting. But I worked there for 10 years, and I had some contacts from Live Nation who were just across the hall, and they knew my character, they knew me as a human and an employee, and they were like, oh my God, like you'd be so perfect. There was a Mariah Carey show at the Met, and there was like a pre-party of just like industry media people, like having a VIP party before the Mariah Carey show.
Right.
And they said, look, like we'll give you tickets, just come as Aunt Terry and mingle, just entertain people. It was super awkward because it's not just like Terry fans. It's like just people in radio who see celebrities all the time. And I'm just like somebody walking around the party that you can get a picture with if you happen to know her, or trying to get footage of like, you know, me eating the snacks, like all this. There's like Mariah Carey themed stuff, and there's drag queens dressed as Mariah Carey. So I walk in as Aunt Terry. I brought my boyfriend with me, not his scene, but I was like, I need content. Like, you gotta come with me. And so he came with me and he's like, oh shit. So we walk in and there's two drag queens handing out tiaras to everyone who's like coming into the party. And I was like, oh, you know, maybe we'll get one. And I'm looking, and I just like something about one of them was like, she's familiar. And I just like, it didn't really register, but they weren't like looking at me or making eye contact with me or trying to like connect with me. And I was like, okay, well, we'll just go in and start doing our thing. And I'm walking around in this party as Aunt Terry at the Mariah Carey pre-party. A scene. I have photos. And I see a woman with a tote bag. And on the tote bag, there's a portrait of a drag queen and it says Miss Troy. And I was like, oh shit. That's him. Like, he's here as his Mariah Carey drag character, which she's apparently huge with drag queens. Okay. So I just put two and two together. I was like, all right, we're in the same room, and I'm Aunt Terry and you're Mariah Carey. What the fuck? And I was like, all right. And my boyfriend gets really mad. Yeah. Really mad about, more mad than I do at the fact that, like, Aunt Mary Pat's a thing.
Okay.
And I was like, don't freak out. But that's Troy. And he was like, are you I was like, no, we're going to be professional. There's media people here. Like, we're on camera. So we didn't acknowledge each other. But to make a long story short, there were fans of his there who knew Aunt Mary Pat, who knew him as a drag queen, and they heckled me.
Oh, jeez.
I instigated none of this. I was just doing my fucking thing, trying to get a job done, and so was he, to his credit.
Yeah.
He never acknowledged. Like, it seemed like there was an unspoken, like, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and we'll just respect each other's space. This is awkward. Like, we didn't even talk. But then his fans were like, Aunt Terri sucks, Aunt Mary Pat, we love you. Like, just making a fucking scene. And again, I told you I'm a deeply feeling person. Like, I cannot. I'm not really good. And like in that scenario, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is bad. I cried and left. And then I got out of character, got the content I needed, and I came back later with a friend of mine who likes Mariah Carey. And we went to the show just as ourselves, and I just took footage of the concert just to be like, oh, she's here, and like whatever. So that's the truth about that scenario. The long truth.
That's rough.
Crazy. So
Yeah.
there seems to be like a figurative line in the sand between the two characters themselves.
It seems like it.
But that doesn't necessarily extend to the fan base.
Yeah, I know they'd probably go nuts for a collab.
Right.
And I
about to
wouldn't even
ask
go
about that.
so far as to say that I would be unwilling to revisit something like that. But I think as humans, we need to connect first.
Yeah.
I'm a very
I understand that.
intuitive, again, like just emotional person and a bigger person and a fucking classy lady. And I don't subscribe to negativity. I cannot deal with internet drama, which is hilarious because I have like an Instagram character from Delco who would probably like really dig up some popularity contest with internet drama, but like I physically cannot. I have no space for that in my life. I can't even deal with
So
it.
even if you're like
I'm a
out
baby.
of character, like you can't separate like the character from like real life,
I can
knowing
s-
that
I
like
can s-
people are
yeah.
hating not Talia, but they're hating.
Well, like, and again,
Terri.
they think she's real sometimes, right?
Right.
So, like, it's not me personally, but then I don't know, you trick, like, we are the same, but we are completely different entities. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
negative comments, even about her, that is an attack on me. Because that's my performance. I'm an
That's your
actor,
artwork,
first and
yeah,
foremost.
yeah.
I'm a professional voice actor, and I'm Aunt Terri. I just finished a stint at Bates Motel as a scare actor. Amazing. Yeah.
We were there.
You are?
We
Yeah.
went, but I think I saw one of your Instagram stories where you were away. You must have been away somewhere, so I don't think you were there the night we were there.
Oh yeah, I was in. I went to Salem, Massachusetts. That was a trip
That's
that
why I
was
think that's
planned
where it
for a
was.
while before.
Salem's rad as fuck.
It was
That's so
amazing.
fun. That's
It
so
was
Where'd you go?
amazing. My friend and I went. It was her birthday, and we actually got tattooed in Salem, which is like impossible to do in October. It was like a very lucky, auspious thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I went last year. It was
It's so fun. I didn't
so
even realize
awesome.
it's like on the ocean.
Oh yeah.
It's like a harbor witch.
oh
which
yeah,
is,
when you like
right
right
up
when
my
you're going
alley.
into town, you go over that one bridge, that like
Yeah.
I guess half moon type bridge.
Yeah.
You like see all the boats and everything. And on like a nice sunny day, like the
Oh
water
my god,
over
it
the-
was
the harbor
beautiful.
is
It was a
beautiful,
little
yeah.
bit chilly, but the weather, it was sunny every day we were there. We got to do all this cool stuff.
That's great.
It was awesome. So yes, I was away for a weekend, but it was in Salem, so I was still doing some creepy stuff for October.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go because I found out recently within like the last year or so that I wanted to go to Massachusetts because I found out that Lizzie Borden is in my bloodline.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That's so crazy. Should
we were
we be
sending-
concerned?
So when Bill was going, I was like, hey, when you go, you should go and stay at my cousin's house.
Look my cousin up. She's up there in Massachusetts.
Jesus.
She's fine.
Yeah, we were.
Probably murdered her whole family with an axe.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal.
She had a hoagie afterwards.
Yeah, a hoagie and a Newport.
Yeah. Smokes.
Yeah, we were in like some kind of like haunted walkthrough, and like we saw Lizzie Borden like on the floor, and we took a picture. We're like, yeah, or I think I took a selfie with her. But yeah, I found. Your
How did
cousin
you find
Bill.
that out?
One of my cousins did like a I don't know if it was like a 23andMe or one of like the DNA
Okay.
things where you can find like your long family tree line, and it dates way far back, but yeah, the Borden family came up,
Wow, that's really funny.
so I was like,
Didn't they figure out not too long ago that like people have done like the 23andMe and they've done another service and then another service and they're all different?
Really?
Yeah, I saw something like that.
It's like, why be a capitalist about that? Like, why isn't it just one big thing? Like it's like police departments not sharing information to catch a killer because they want to be the first. It's like you could just prevent people from dying, or like, I don't know, have everyone find their relatives, or you could compete against each other.
It's
Whatever.
all about the almighty dollar.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
So you said you worked 10 years at iHeartMedia.
Yep.
That must have been a rad time.
It was a rad time, a very underpaid time. I also waitressed during that time, but
That's usually how the entertainment business goes.
yes,
right?
and or the creative side of it, because the salespeople have weekends and holidays and all these
of
nice
course.
things and benefits. But God forbid, I get paid a proper hourly wage. So that's the worst I can say about it. Other than that, it was so much fun. And yes, I spent 10 years there, so it must have been all right.
Right. What was your official job title, or what did you do?
I was a board operator and producer. So what that means is when the radio is like on, there's like a live studio. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with things like this, but so you're responsible. Like I could literally shut the radio off the air if I wanted to.
Right.
But technically, that's the lowest on the totem pole.
So were you for like the whole iHeartMedia?
That's power, though.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's iHeartMedia, yes.
So was that the whole entire?
So in Philly, iHeartMedia is 104.5, Q102, Power 99, DAS, and 106.1, which is now the Breeze. So that's all 5 stations in one suite. So what that looks like is a bunch of like a hive of sales team people in meeting rooms. It's really nice over there. And then you get to the studios and everything is ancient. And there's like a hallway of studios, and each one of those is the live air studio for the 5 stations I just mentioned. And then there's intermittent studios all around where people can record commercials or do their own work that isn't like a live hot board to get on the air with. It's like pre-recorded rooms. So my time was spent in one of those. I voiced and produced thousands of commercials. You've definitely heard my voice on the radio.
I was listening to your reel.
Oh, thanks.
Not too long ago. Yeah, Philadelphia cream cheese.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
right.
The Borgata in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like I was thinking to myself too. Like I never put a face to these voices.
No, you wouldn't.
Like it
You
almost
wouldn't want
sounds
to
like a
sometimes.
computer voice. Like it's just like it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just it's any disembodied voice. You don't really think about it.
Right.
But and everyone is, I have a good voice. Like I can get into voiceover. I'm like, could you? So yeah, not everyone looks like what they sound like. But yeah, I worked there for 10 years. I loved it. I loved everyone that I worked with. I got to meet some super cool bands. And
That's what I was thinking. I would imagine you run into some pretty cool people.
Yeah, I got to go to some shows.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very cool experience. So I would say it was worth every penny
So
that
that
I scraped together.
that was part of your compensation package.
Yeah, I guess so. They always remind you how lucky you are to be there.
Yeah.
But and I do feel it. I don't want to come off as ungrateful. Super grateful, but to be honest, it just didn't pay very well. Yeah, so it's not all the glamour it sounds like it is.
So did you do the same thing for all 10 years?
Yeah, for the most part. And there was other projects that would come down the line. Like one of my last years there, they needed to fill in on the Breeze. So I did like a pre-recorded little DJ set for the Christmas holiday.
Okay.
Just like coming out of a song. That's Nat King Cole. What are you guys doing on Christmas? This one goes out to Joni out in Conshohocken. And like it's like the next one. And I called myself Tej because my name's Talia Genevieve. And I thought that was a cool thing to do. I didn't have a radio name. So I was like, hey, Tej with you. So that was like, if you knew me, you were listening to that, but otherwise no one would ever know. Like, yeah, so everybody's pre-recorded.
That's interesting.
Yeah. For the most part, it's either like syndicated or pre-recorded.
Okay. That's
Wow.
funny.
Even like morning shows?
Almost all morning shows are pre-recorded. Or no matter if it's live or not, there's a delay. So there's the dump button. So if somebody curses, you push a button and it cuts out like 3 seconds.
It's like frequent on Preston and Steve.
Oh yeah, well
So-
I will say they are one of the last of the Mohicans. Like Preston and Steve are fully live. They're one of, and isn't it? I was just having this conversation. Isn't it funny that like MMR, like this is arguable. It's not my taste, but the music that's on Mamar is like garbage, right? Like we can all agree it's kind of shitty. But the DJs are what most people like listen to it for, and sometimes it's like good. Like there's really great segments, but like all this like new pop rock stuff that they like that's like the bread and butter on there. It's like okay, but yeah, it's like I miss Y100. That was my shit.
I remember that.
And like if they would
great.
just play the same music, like the same playlist that would have been on Y100, we would be good.
Yeah.
But anyway, you listen to it for the live DJs. Like how good are they? And like you know them,
Absolutely.
they have a presence. But on all these other stations that are all homogenized now, you don't know the morning show people, and it's all just like the same type of content. Like they're like really mining for it, and anything that's like War of the Roses or just like they're fake.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me one little bit.
Yeah.
And you can tell the shit that's real. I mean, Preston and Steve, they come off as like a legit operation, a real, whatever you're listening to is whatever's actually happening over
Yes.
there right now. I mean, and a lot of the guys, Pierre's awesome.
Oh, we
I fucking
love Pierre. I love Pierre.
And, Jackson, Matt Cord switched to MGK now, but I mean,
Someone
Matt Cord
once
was great
said
for
that
years.
Aunt Terri and Jackie Bam Bam have the same voice.
Oh my god!
And I can't unhear it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna.
The Delco vampire in my bat cave. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't unhear that now.
I
That's,
know. It's terrible.
Oh,
Almost
my
the
God.
same hairdo, too.
But Aunt Terry's voice is a little bit more clean. Where like
Yeah.
Jackie Bam.
Yeah,
Bam,
Jackie's got the rasp.
Yeah,
but-
He's a really beautiful textbook Delco accent.
Oh god.
Perfect. If you want every.
Jackie's
Should
amazing
we
in
talk
a lot
about
of
Mayor of
ways.
Easttown? Yeah.
We can. I watched it.
I watched. It was a great show. Some people from Bates Motel like worked on it, so we were chatting about it. But yeah, it was a great show. But did you see the first episode? Did you notice that Kate Winslet was eating a cheesesteak for breakfast in the car?
Yeah.
No.
I'm making a face.
Yeah, who does that?
No.
Doesn't
You
happen.
missed that. It would have been a sizzly, hun.
Yeah.
It would have been a sizzly, or if it was from a deli, it'd be a
Wawa
bagel.
coffee.
It would have been a Wawa coffee and a sizzly. She's eating
Yeah.
a cheesesteak for breakfast. No, who didn't? catch that?
Unless you were up all night and you go to Gino's at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, it's still sitting
Not
on your
happening.
passenger seat.
Yeah.
Or if it was like on your, I could understand like if it was on your counter from the night before and you're like, I just need something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
but
take
they
it
didn't show that.
No.
It's just her eating what would appear to be a hot cheesesteak. And I'm like, where are you getting this in the morning, first of all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody's open.
Literally,
Yeah.
Pat's and Gino's.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And it's set in like deep Delco.
Right. So you're not even there.
The woods. Yeah.
I'm
Like
like-
my Delco is like Havertown, Upper Darby, but around this area and closer to Bates Motel was just still Delco. That's like where it seemed to be set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're lower Delco, like Clifton Heights.
Yeah.
We're trash.
You garbage people.
Yeah, we're in the dirt for sure. But yeah, that show, I thought they did a pretty good job.
Oh, it was a fabulous plot. I
But-
thought it was great.
Like
I still have yet
you
to
had to
watch
have
it.
known
You would
that
like it.
people from here were going to get a little upset.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, Kate Winslet, wonderful actress, but it's like, British woman and a Delco accent. Like I would say for what she did a really a very good job trying to do it. But it's like,
She just had the wrong people.
yeah,
People teaching how to do it.
yeah, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like
I
the
believe that she did what she was taught to do.
Yes.
She was just misled.
There was a
along
couple
the way.
really hard punches on certain things, like go, like you could tell, like I feel like if I were her dialects coach, it would be like, here's the Delco accent, do it really strong, and then pull it all the way back.
Yeah.
Like just forget everything I told you and just pull it all the way back. And here's a mental shortcut. I'm making a shape it's for people who listen. I'm making a shape of an O with my hands. You just squash it. So from O to O.
Yeah.
That's
It looks
perfect,
like an
though.
oblong, like an oval. Oh my god! Yeah,
But it wasn't even just that.
See,
But
the problem is that anybody who tries to do the Delco accent gets it real heavy.
yeah.
Like it just, I don't know if it's possible for most people to do it not real heavy. Like when you do
Yeah.
Aunt Terry, like it's heavy.
Well, it's heavy to do Aunt Terry, but then you just throw it away because they're not thinking about how they're talking.
Right.
And it's like sometimes it's Sunday and sometimes it's Sunday. But like I would punch it because that was the joke. That was why it was
Right,
fun.
yeah, you're
Like,
laying it on thick for the comedic
obviously,
value.
and one of my biggest videos was the snow day video. But like obviously, it's not a snow day. I was just making fun of the fact that people say snow day and Monday. Like, what is that?
I say Monday
Yeah.
and Tuesday.
My dad says that shit. And he's
I got it
from,
from
he's
my
from
dad,
Jersey,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's a Trent.
and then I don't even use the T. And Saturday.
Yeah,
I go. It's Saturday.
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 Yeah, I love that. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys have
Delco
some
accent's
beautiful
like a blend
thick
of like a
Delco
Jersey
accents.
and a New York accent.
And South Philly.
South Philly,
And
yeah.
anyone who doesn't know Philly or Delco, they go right to Sylvester Stallone.
Oh God.
And he's New York.
Yeah, that's not an accurate representation.
Adrian. Also, fun fact: Adrian, her real name is
Talia Shire, yeah.
My mom was. So I got into this because my mom was a radio DJ. She did that for years. She was Miss Philadelphia in 1980. She was a radio DJ. She had a talk show with Frank Rizzo after he was the mayor. She did Shadow Traffic and XTU and all these things. And so I just grew up in recording studios. And so I think she thought it would be appropriate to send Talia Shire a message saying like, oh, I named my daughter Talia. They were filming Rocky in Philly. I was born in 1990. I guess it was the Rocky 3, about 1990, potentially.
Like that, yeah.
So one of them. I think the Apollo, where he fights Apollo, and I guess so. She was around, so I don't know how my mom used her media contacts to like contact fucking Talia Shire, but like and like I was like I don't know, like postpartum, like whatever, and she just sent her a letter, and she sent me an antique baby spoon with Talia engraved in it, and
Oh
a
my
note
God.
to me like best wishes to the little Talia, love Talia Shire. So I have Rocky
awesome.
history, and my mom was Miss Philadelphia, so like my claim to the Philadelphia throne is valid. Thank you.
Okay.
Can't argue that one.
Yep, let's
The
go.
ties run deep.
That's it. That's it.
So you went to school for audio engineering? Right?
Yeah. So I went to Coastal Carolina for marine biology and found out math really sucks.
Yo, fuck
so-
this ocean bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that ocean bullshit. Listen, I'll do it like a Finding Nemo cartoon with my like voiceover, and I'll donate all the money to the oceans. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got on trash cans in these oceans?
Yeah.
I need my hoagie
Can I
on.
just say one quick thing, by the way?
Yes.
In that show in Mayor of Easttown, when the first thing I yelled at my TV, my wife was like, "Are you fucking talking to the TV?" Because they're like, "Oh, down at the creek." I'm like,
The
"Crick,
crick. It's crick.
crick, motherfucker!"
Crick, motherfucker.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's always on this. He's always bringing
I don't
this
blame
up.
you. I didn't even catch. I think maybe when I watched it, I caught it. Yeah.
He murdered my daughter by the crick.
Yeah.
it's
Oh
the
my
crick.
god, murder my daughter.
Yeah, that was
Murder my
oh,
daughter.
God. That was great.
Yeah.
SNL did do a funny parody.
That was
of it.
really funny.
That was good.
It's just like, I'm right here. I'm right here. I did, talking about how I didn't market myself, I did have a meeting in New York City at IFC, which was super
Okay.
cool. They basically just invited me over to meet me and say like, hey, if you got a pitch, come pitch.
Are you talking
I
about
did
the
not have a
Independent
pitch.
Film Channel? Is that IFC? Is that
They just loved Aunt Terri. So actually, I was at the Eagles game as Aunt Terri. It was a preseason
Eagles.
game. The Eagles, excuse me.
come on, Aunt Terri.
Yeah, it's like it's Eagles if it flows off the tongue, but then you're punching it too hard if you say Eagles. But it's spelled Eagles.
Yeah.
So I was at the game as Aunt Terri, just getting some like preseason content, and someone recognized me, and they were like, "Oh my god, you're so funny!" And he was like, "I have to tell you." He's like, one of my best friends works at IFC. They have an email thread about you. Like, I'm going to tell her I met you at this game and send her this photo. And I was like, oh my God, cool. Like, I flew by the seat of my pants with Aunt Terri. It was a funny thing. I put my grandmother's wig on, and then it fucking snowballed literally on a snow day. And then it's just like, how are we going to make it a business?
Right.
You work full time. You work 2 jobs. You work 3 jobs. Like, how are you going to do this? So, and other people have figured it out. But yeah, man, I just flew by the seat of my pants. So I went to IFC like, I don't fucking know. I'll just come to IFC. Oh, a pitch? Fuck. So I don't know. A greater person might have figured out a fucking script to make, but I'm just doing my thing.
Okay.
Should
Yeah,
write a
we'll
script. That'd be
figure it
the
out.
biggest fuck you to Troy ever.
Yeah, I guess
Seriously,
so.
you could do it.
Yeah,
Aunt Terry's got a
I
fucking
have
movie.
so many ideas. I just need a collaborator,
Right.
a legitimate collaborator, because there's people who would want to work on it, but they have their own shit going on, or they don't actually do it professionally, and they can't actually execute. That's why you say you gotta have a guy who's the get it done guy.
Get
You
it
gotta
done.
have the get it done guy. I tried to do stuff with my boyfriend for a while, but it gets in the way of like the enjoyment of the relationship when you're fighting about creative content. Like, no.
Think Aunt Terri would do that? Fuck you, dude.
Yeah, or you'd be like, I think we should do it this way. I'm like, if you tell me how to do Aunt Terri one more time, we're breaking up. Like, I will kill you.
You walk from one room and then, you go into the living room, sit on the couch, and you're like, man, I just got into the biggest fight. My coworker's such a jackass.
Right? Yeah. How am I supposed to vent to you about my coworker when it's you? So it was better that I just I need a collaborator. If anyone is really great at writing scripts and has the fucking time for it, I know what I want. I know what I want. Like, best case scenario, someone follows me around with a camera. I just do what the fuck I do, and you produce the video and help me post it. Like, that's the biggest thing is, like, getting all these clips and getting all the content and putting it on a fucking schedule.
Right.
Like, have a cachet of content just to sit on and schedule. Like, that's what I always struggled with.
Right.
And I know if anyone's listening who's like a social media person who has creative content, like, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
We struggle with that.
Yes.
Because I have to take all this shit. I have to go back to my recording computer. I got to edit it.
It takes so much time.
Right. And like, I have a son. I have a 7-year-old. He has a kid. He has a stepson. Like,
Yeah.
we just don't have all the time in the world. So
Yeah,
like,
it's really hard, especially if you have children.
yeah, right from work. I left work at 6, went right home, got changed, or took a shower, came right back here. It's just never ending. And
Big
then, like,
props to you guys for doing
now
this.
when I go home, like, we were talking about getting another one out. And we have like 4 in the can.
Yeah.
You
That's
might be number
great.
5.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
way to do it. Just get a few in the can so you're like, okay, we have time.
But that's a struggle just to get like 3 or 4.
But then the
You know what I
problem
mean?
is,
And
like-
and you're really not that far ahead, so it's like one
Yeah.
little bump in the road, and it's like, oh shit, well there goes our lead.
Yeah, you want to
Well,
make
yeah.
sure your audio is perfect. God forbid. Like
Right.
some of Danny's, I was like, he could have gotten closer.
Yeah.
Right. And then trying to go through and edit, like,
Oh, yeah.
I could go through and edit and make everything all super level, but like, I
Or you
can't
could
go-
outsource it, but that costs money.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I can't go through an hour
And they
and a
don't
half.
have the same vision all the time. Like you want someone who's in the camp to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I record music too, like just my own music, and like I would hate going to other people because they
Yeah.
never like I hear it in my head before I record it, and we've been like this since we were like 16. Him and I used to be in a band together,
That's awesome.
and we went to recording studio one time, right? Yeah,
Yep,
just for the
Red
final
Planet.
hour. Yeah.
Mhm.
And after
Yeah.
that, I was recording everything at home. Wasn't really the best, but like it's my own vision on my own time.
Yeah.
Like
It's so hard when you are HR, you are the boss, you are the employee,
Yeah.
you know, you're the builder. It's so hard to do everything yourself plus all the other shit you have to do for yourself and have time left over to be a real full person, which makes the content interesting.
Skip
Right.
that. I haven't been a full person in years.
You know what I mean though, like to fulfill yourself as a human and do things
No,
that you
absolutely.
enjoy,
Right.
like that make you a well-rounded person that is fun to listen to.
have experiences and
Yes.
then be able to talk about them. Like
You have to have time for that too, and
Right.
your job, and your fucking kid, and your It is so hard.
luckily, there's 3 of us because
Yes.
we're always booking guests. And
That's
like,
great.
We have a group chat and we're like, "Hey, I got another one. He
Yeah,
has one. He
constant
has one."
rotation.
Yeah,
to work with,
and
so
it's
that-
He's
and like
uploading to
a balance
YouTube,
of
yeah.
energies with you guys. Like, the get it done guy, or the I know this type of like the connector people.
Right.
You know, whatever it is. So yeah,
we all
that's
have our
super
like
awesome.
assigned jobs, so like
That's
it
super
kinda
awesome
works
you
out.
guys
But
have that.
if
I
it
want
was
that
just,
for me.
If it was just me, or just him, like or
Oh,
him, like
God.
it'd be forever.
Yeah, for
one
sure.
episode every 2 or 3 months.
I tried to start recording because I'm a voice actor. I sing. Like I have my own recording equipment at home too. I was trying to record like a solo podcast, and holy shit, it's so hard to just sit there and talk by yourself.
Oh,
I mean, I
imagine
could do
doing
it
that.
obviously, like all day. And I wanted to talk about like voiceover because I'm a
Right.
professional and I've been doing it since I was 2 years old. So like I could have endless amounts of content about that. So I was trying to do something like that, and it was just like. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I need an intro. And then you know, with COVID
You start
pandy
breaking it
projects,
down, right?
yeah, you got to break it down like by topic and everything. And again, it's just so boring to do by yourself. Like I play off of other people. Like
Right. That's the best way to do I mean, as far as we're concerned, that's the best way to do it. Like, we were
Yeah.
doing it before where, we were trying to structure it out a little bit more, you know what I mean? We were writing our synopsis of the episode and whatever.
We have a stack of them over there.
Yeah. And
oh, awesome.
You should probably get closer.
I probably should. I've been backing up slowly this entire time.
It's gonna end up in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can see what we do with our synopsises at this point. They just sit over there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's more fun to just bounce back and forth off of whoever we come across.
Definitely. That makes it funnier. Like it's so much it's more fun to improv and play off people, and you have guys like Danny Malley up in here that you could talk
Absolutely.
forever.
And you think
yeah.
Danny's going to follow a script? Like, that's out the
No.
fucking window
Yeah.
5 minutes after he shows
You don't
up.
want
so.
Dan to follow a script.
No.
And
You
luckily, I
wouldn't be
mean,
Dan
it's
without it.
not even that we ever really followed a script. It was more just like
No,
guidelines
we
to get us through an
outlined it,
episode.
yeah. And it was, point being, it was more structured than we've done it now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, now we just have a lot more fun.
Well,
with it. It's
now
great.
you got the hang of it, so you
Yeah.
know what to do.
Sometimes you don't realize how shitty you are at having a conversation until you're recording yourself having a conversation. Yeah. You got to practice.
Dude, the worst thing for me is I can't have a conversation if I'm trying to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll sit here and talk to you all day about whatever you want, but if you sit me down and say, all right, now try to talk to this person, what do you
Yeah.
and it's going to die real fast.
Right. Well, it's just fun to like. I get why you turn the mic on, so people
Mm-hmm.
are already having a conversation.
Right.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
already
it
in
comes very
conversation.
naturally.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even do an intro for her, did we?
No.
No, we didn't.
No.
Well,
You
she
could
kind of
always
did.
do one.
She
did her own,
which is fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'll always do my own intro.
Let's go.
yeah.
And Terry's got this.
I got it, hon. Listen up.
that's great.
So I was just thinking, actually, I think Kirsten Sills needs an Aunt Terry on Terminally Chill.
Yo. All right, so we had a guest, Kirsten Sills. She's a comedian.
She's a friend now.
And she's a friend. She's
Does she
awesome.
go by K-Sills?
I don't know. C-I-L-L-S?
No. No. Nope.
Okay.
Different person.
She has cystic fibrosis.
Okay.
So she's terminally ill, but she calls herself terminally chill.
Holy shit.
She's awesome. You got to
She's
listen to that
hysterical.
episode.
Oh my goodness.
But she's filming a show called Terminally Chill.
That's amazing.
And she got backing for it from like LA producers, and she's
everything's,
filming it
like,
now.
Philly-based.
Yes,
It's all,
Queen. That's amazing.
So yeah, maybe we could try to hook that up.
Kirsten,
Kirsten.
you go, girl.
Kirsten
If you're
Sills.
listening to this,
Yeah.
you fucking rock on. Oh, that's so cool. Good
Yeah.
for her.
And she's so fun.
Go
Like,
check out the episode that she did with us, and then go watch Terminally Chill
Yeah.
on YouTube. It's
sold.
Yeah, they
So
have a
worth
pilot
it.
on YouTube,
Sold.
and it's
Holy
yo, if-
shit.
it was brilliant.
I can't
If
even
you were
imagine.
her Aunt
Which voice
Terry-
do you have at that point? You're making. I'm doing. You're living your dream.
Yeah.
You got to.
oh, she's
Oh, she's been
Props.
through some shit too.
I
She was
can't
at
even
9/11.
imagine.
Like she was at the bottom of the tower when the plane got hit.
Oh my god.
She's a boss bitch.
She's got everything to talk about. Yeah, she's a boss bitch. Woo.
she's
We are not
cool for sure.
worthy. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, you almost feel like that. You're like, you are.
You
something-
talk.
Right. Just let us.
I'm
she's-
gonna sit over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
gonna
a-
just
she's a
keep
special
sitting
individual.
down. I can't even imagine. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, we got to hook that up.
yeah. But yeah, she was asking. She's like, "Oh, you guys should come down, and you guys could help with our characters with their speech and stuff like
Yeah.
that." And I'm like, okay.
Diction coaches.
Yeah.
I can teach you diction. Yeah.
Yeah, you would probably.
It
do
would
better.
it would be an honor just to meet you, Kirsten. I don't need to. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
got the
That'd be
hookup.
great.
Yeah.
This is why you do these things. You connect with other people.
Yeah, networking.
right.
Absolutely.
I love it.
You meet so many cool people that way.
Yes.
It's funny doing getting back into it again. We've had no issues getting guests.
Everyone wants to do. Everyone's dying to talk to each other.
I know.
But, like,
I know.
we're
At this
I
getting,
point-
like-
missed you guys.
yeah, at this point, people are talking to anything, anything and anyone.
But
Like,
we're getting like people like the guitars from Anthrax. With literally
No big deal.
Like,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
literally without trying. He emails him. He's like trying to be on our podcast. He's like, okay. And then like a few weeks later, he's on the fucking podcast. Doc Hoyle from Bad Wolves. You know the song "Zombie"
Yes.
that came out recently. That guitar player
Wow.
just had him on.
Just with an email.
Did you do? Would you do
Literally-
like ISDN? How'd you get them on?
How'd you get his
call?
email?
I got his email.
No, the sound.
What do you mean?
Like, how did you interview him?
through
Zoom.
Zoom.
The
Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah, just bring everything
How'd
in
the
through Zoom
sound
and then
turn out
record
for
it.
that?
Great. Other than when there's like internet glitches and
Yeah.
it records the internet glitch, but like that's something we can't
Zoom
avoid.
for the
Yeah.
win. Who's
And we-
got Zoom stock? Bitch, I should have jumped.
So yeah, and then we had our buddy Bob on, who he did his Zoom interview from the beach. He was in Wildwood.
Oh
On the
my
beach.
He's on
god,
the beach, so like,
that's too good.
yeah. So you hear the wind, and then he's like talking shit
Oh,
to
yeah.
people, and then like the water's coming up to his feet. He's like, "Oh, this fucking water."
Oh, that was great. He had to get up,
Up
pick
and
up his
was there.
chair, and move. That was funny.
That's
Yeah.
the best way to do an interview.
He was
Your
just
ass in the sand.
chilling
In
out on the
Wildwood.
beach.
It's Wildwood.
Wow.
That's where he was too, right? Wildwood.
He was in
Wildwood.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
North
Yeah.
Wildwood or like Central Wildwood? You know, I used to live in Wildwood.
Did you?
Like just in the summer, but
Or a Jersey Shore girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up going to Ocean City with my dad, and then we got a senior week house there for some reason. It's a dry town. I was like, is this a good idea? Oh my God. We wrapped, me and the girls in my senior week house, we brought cases of beer inside the house, but we wrapped it in wrapping paper like Christmas presents. So no one would give a shit that minors had cases of beer in the senior weekend.
fucking
Like
South
anyone
Bear
was
thing to
paying
do.
attention. But we had like someone's mom like helped us wrap the
Oh my
presents.
god. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we stayed there. But then growing up, my dad, he's really into fishing. So he connected with someone down in Wildwood, and they were really friendly. And so this is another piece of fodder from where Aunt Terri came from, was going as a kid, like in middle school, down ashore with my dad and his fishing buddies' wives. And all of them are offended if you don't call them Aunt whoever. Like, oh, that's Uncle Mike and Aunt Doreen, right? Oh, Uncle Mike and Aunt Lisa.
Yeah.
It's hi Lisa, Aunt Lisa. Like they're mad when you don't call them Aunt. So they were like part of it. But yeah, we started going down there almost every weekend, and I needed something to do while my dad was fishing, so he introduced me to like those people's kids, and I became very close with them, and they're like local. So I went to like Wildwood High School's prom, like all this stuff. So it was like a schlocal situation. But yeah, down Wildwood, hon, I could talk about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'd be calling myself out of school all the time.
when I got a car, let me tell you, I was like, what are you guys doing? Like after school, I was always there. I was always friends with like the skater kids.
Female Ferris Bueller.
I just see-
Literally, in my Ford Focus with the friggin' Hawaiian flower seat covers.
Oh man.
Yep, and
What kind of air
God.
freshener do you have?
I was just gonna say it smelled like a tropical beach in there, hon.
Tropical beach.
It was like tropical suntan air
fresh
freshener.
breeze.
Yeah. And and the front license plate was like an airbrushed sunset from the Wildwood Boardwalk. Bitch.
Did they say Talia on it?
It didn't say anything on it. I didn't want it to say anything. It was just like a palm tree sunset, like
Is that the one with the
license plate.
dolphins jumping? The one that they always
There weren't dolphins, but there should have been.
Dude, they
Yeah.
sold those things for years. They're probably still selling them. I haven't been to Wild in a while,
yeah.
dude.
I love the like property of John, like
Yeah.
like butt shorts. It says like property of John on the butt. Oh God,
Crazy the shit they put on fucking clothes down there now.
I know. Sometimes you're like, that's kind of a lit design.
Any girl who wears a property of somebody's,
Yeah.
like that's the
Deserves
couple,
to be their property.
That's the couple that fights, like
Yes.
fist fights.
Well, yeah, because nobody is anybody's property. That's very unhealthy. Are you a slave? So
Yeah. And then I got my wife like, why are you fucking looking at her like that? Like,
Right.
am I not supposed to read what it says?
Stop looking at her ass. I'm sorry. It says
it
words.
says property of John. I was trying to make sure she was.
She was
I
near
don't-
John.
Are you John?
Are you John?
Are you
better be
Where's your
John.
shirt?
Are you lost? Is there
Your
a
shirt
number
should
under
say
there?
John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your shirt
If lo-
needs to-
Do you ever see the meme? It was like if lost, call Jan, and then Jan has I am Jan. It's like an old couple, and the guy's shirt is like if lost, call Jan, and the old lady has her shirt. I am Jan.
That's great. So with audio engineering, you have a degree in that. Do you record bands? Did you just get that for your voiceover?
So we derailed, but yes, I went to Coastal Carolina for a year for marine biology, and then came home and was like, all right, I guess I gotta get some sort of degree. So I went to Montco, and I got a degree in digital audio production. And during that time, I got a job at iHeart, which you think, or an internship, you're like, oh, this will turn into a full-time job. It's exactly what I want to do. Don't need student debt. So I got that degree. They taught me Pro Tools. They have a fabulous like audio engineering department. They taught you like it's better than Temple's at that time.
Oh, wow.
Apparently,
That's
like
awesome.
people that were transferring out of Montco were like, Temple's recording studio is not this. I don't know what it is now, but they had us miking live bands in the recording studio. My favorite thing was like part of our audio like Pro Tools class was to like we got clips from movies and you took out all the sound and you went and did like the Foley work and the voiceovers and like re-put it back in and using Pro Tools to line it up with the video.
That's
It was
really
so
cool.
much fun. We actually did that. I went to Haverford. Mr. Fine, shout out. I hear he still works there. He taught Pro Tools there too. And I took it in high school and we did the same type of project.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, that Foley
my
work's
Scream
super
is still
interesting.
in the sound bank at Haverford High School, I've heard. Yes.
Yeah,
There's like a scene from Star Wars where she screams and I went in the recording studio and screamed. And I think it's still like a clip you can use.
Oh,
yeah.
that's badass.
I hope.
Yeah,
great.
I'm always watching those Foley videos.
Oh my God,
Like,
aren't
on the
they so
movies.
fun?
They're so fun.
It's fascinating. It was just like elementary level, but holy shit, those people are amazing. They're artists.
Yeah, they're geniuses.
And the studios, like, if anyone listening doesn't know what Foley work is, it's when you make sound effects to put back in movies. That, like, you can't, there's no real dinosaur stomping around, so how do you make the sound of their footsteps? You literally go out and record yourself using a crane to drop a tree. So you can get the brevity of the sound of a dinosaur's footstep.
Right. But you never, like, The Invisible Man is the one I watched recently. And you don't realize how much they take out of movies
Yes.
and put back in.
Yeah.
Like, just the creaking of, like, a faucet.
Right. Exactly.
And they changed the sound of it just because they didn't like it.
Either you didn't like it, or it didn't get picked up right, or it would really add to the scene. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Sound
and there's whole studios.
influences everything
Yes.
that you're taking. So watch Tom and Jerry with zero sound.
Watch a scary movie without sound. It's not
Watch a
even that
scary
scary
movie, yeah.
anymore. If you're scared, don't cover your eyes, cover your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
It
much.
totally makes
Yeah.
sense.
That like think of a scary movie when there's funny music in it. You're like, this isn't even scary.
Right.
Like the music or the sound dictates the whole vibe.
Yeah. You don't think about that until you watch a video that breaks that down. and
Yeah.
you're just like, what?
I mean, we think about it because that's like the type of shit we think about.
Right.
But the average person isn't paying any attention to it.
Like, now I'm breaking down sounds. I'm like, I wonder what they used
Yeah.
for that. Or...
Whenever people get like triggered by a character in a movie too, from an actor standpoint, I'm like, oh my God, they're so good. Like, like I get excited by a really horrible character because I'm like, this actor is killing it right now.
That's what I said the other day. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was telling them I refuse to watch The Punisher on Netflix because of the guy that I can't think of his
John
name.
Bernthal?
John Bernthal. Was Shane from The Walking Dead.
Oh,
Hated him in The Walking Dead. I was like, that
Yes.
guy's such an asshole. And I realized after a while, I'm like, I'm not watching The Punisher because of how good he played Shane.
Yeah, so you
in
should
The Wild. I'm
probably
like,
see it because he's a really good
and then
actor.
I watched it and I was like, I'm an asshole. Like, that was
Right?
completely my fault. I was denying it because he did such a good job
Yes,
in a
it's
previous
like
role.
bad actors piss me off,
Right.
But a good actor should piss you off too, like
You know, Shane
because they're so
Bernthal,
good at their role.
Yeah, he's something special.
I watched an
him
interview
and
with
Fury, him
Yeah.
and The Wolf of Wall Street. Like, he's good
Definitely
in
watch
everything.
Punisher too. He's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, I started watching the
Oh, yeah,
show
he is.
since that. But, like, I slept on it for so long just because I realized, or because I didn't like him as Shane so much. And then I realized, like, no, he's a damn good actor
Yeah.
to make me feel that way.
Yeah, all the more reason to watch the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I watched an interview with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played Negan.
I love
And he's
him.
like, people come up to me on the street and they're like, I fucking hate you.
And he's like, guess I did my job really
Yeah,
well.
and that's the thing. That just shows you how well
Yeah.
he played. Because he was on, what was it, like Grey's Anatomy or something else too, like complete opposite of
Mm-hmm. Right.
his Negan character.
Yeah.
You want to know where I remember him from?
Where's that?
I got forced to watch P.S. I Love You.
Never would have known he was in that.
Yeah.
Never would have known.
It's okay to
Yeah.
like and watch rom-coms if you're a man. Just saying. Real men are
And then-
comfortable with their masculinity.
And then I'm like, I found he was going to be on Walking Dead. I'm like, oh, it's this fucking guy.
He does it so good.
And I'm like, this guy's soft. And then I see him in Walking Dead. I'm like, all right.
Do any of you guys still watch it?
What? Walking
I
Dead?
dropped
no, I dropped off too, but I
Oh,
wish
man.
I still.
You
Is it
guys
still
fucked
good?
up because it's so.
I will.
good.
I'll
It's
get back
still
on
so-
there.
Get back on.
Don't
it.
say anything.
Yeah,
So good.
don't ruin it. But see, I've heard both sides of that argument. You know what I mean? I'm like, I dropped out. People are like, good for you. I hung on too long.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, no, it's definitely worth it. You need to catch back up and see what happened. I'm like,
If
think
anything
because-
happens to Daryl, I will kill myself. I am.
So-
I have. It's unhealthy.
This I don't think
The
it's a
way I love
spoiler.
him.
because
Daryl's never
it's
going
out there in
I
the world.
love Daryl.
I don't know what happens.
I
with
have a
Daryl,
shirt that
but I
says
know.
"America needs Daryl Dixon." I got it at the fucking flea market in Jersey, hon. You know the one.
He's your husband, right?
My husband.
Yeah.
With a T at the end.
He
Husband.
doesn't know it yet, but
Yeah.
He's my
marrying you.
husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when my kids were young, we had a onesie. It said, if Daryl Dixon dies, we riot.
Same.
So
yeah.
it's already been announced that there's a Daryl and Carol spinoff. So you know
Oh,
for sure they
cool.
both don't die.
Okay,
and that's
great.
been
Well,
announced
that
by the
was-
producers.
That's
so
the
like,
that
only
was
thing
a
you're allowed to give
fact.
away to me is
Yeah.
that Daryl didn't die because
he didn't,
I will die.
and he's not going to in The Walking Dead because
Right.
it's the last season.
But the
They're in
thing
like the
is,
last 24 episodes. Or
Daryl's
something.
character never should have existed. That's the weird.
Oh yeah, he was only
Like,
supposed to
He
be.
almost-
wasn't like in the comic
Season
book, right?
one.
Yeah.
Almost everybody else. I think Carol is the only one from the comic books
Who's still-
left.
Well, no, there's what's his name? Father
Careful.
Gabriel. No, Father Gabriel.
Okay.
Okay.
He's still there.
Oh, I see. I
Rosita.
had no idea.
She
I
was
had
in
a
the
really
comic
good friend
books.
at iHeart who
But they
did
all-
all of
they
those.
all had different like fates.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like
In
I
the
know they
comics,
weren't
Rick
gonna
never
carry it
dated
over.
Michonne.
Did you read them?
I've read some. I still have. I've
Okay.
the two of the compendiums on my phone. I went through like the first one. But,
I've
like,
never read
things
graphic novels
are
like
so
that.
different.
They're cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
they're
think they were
interesting.
cool. I
Like,
just never read them like that.
Yeah, they're interesting, but you just got to make time to do it. It's one of
Yeah.
those things that you know, it's like, oh, I'll get to that soon. I definitely want to do and then you
Yeah.
never do it. But like if you do, it usually ends up being worth the time.
Yeah,
like there's
for
very
sure.
few that I've read that I was disappointed.
When I have free time, the last thing I want to do is sit and read a book. It's always recording or like
dude, I always
hanging
do.
out
It's
with
so
these
much
guys.
easier to veg too, like in this day and age where we have like Netflix and stuff, and like I don't know, it's like work to read.
Yeah, I mean, if I
Shitty
want
as
to
that
read a
is,
book,
I love reading a
I
book.
always want to read. Like I
Yeah.
was listening to Preston and Steve a couple of months ago, and Bob Ballard, the guy, I think he's the one who discovered the Titanic.
Oh yes, yeah, Ballard.
He wrote a book called Into the Deep, I
Uh-huh.
believe it is. And they had him on Preston and Steve, and he gave an interview, and it was a great interview. And I'm listening to it driving into work one morning, and I'm like, by the end of the ride to work, I'm on Amazon on my
Getting the
phone,
book.
and I'm trying, and it was sold out. And
Oh,
it was sold out
God.
for months, and I'm like, this must be a really good fucking book.
Yeah.
So I finally got my copy of it like 2 weeks ago, and I've been so busy, and I haven't had time to read it yet. But that's like my go-to thing when I get free
Yeah.
time, me time. Dude, I'm going to sit down and crack into that
I
book.
really love reading too. Like
was so
once I
cool.
find a really good book, like I just have to read a little bit of it, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I can't wait to find out what happens next. And me personally, I just want to go somewhere else. So like, I love a good fiction book.
Right.
I love a really good story like that. Like
I've
I
read
don't
tons of
want
Stephen
any
King
facts.
and Dean Koontz and all
yeah.
that. They're my
love
favorites.
Kurt Vonnegut. He's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my number one favorites.
yeah, whenever I want to read a book, I try to find the audio version so I can listen to it on the way to work.
Yeah.
That's all I really have time for.
Yeah, the last book I read was Novak's, and that put me in a fucking weird place.
Novak's was good, man.
Yeah, we had
I
Brandon
flew
Novak
through
on here.
that one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was easy.
That
too.
Novak.
Yeah,
That
Novak.
Damn.
Yeah, that guy.
In person.
in
That
person,
guy.
sat right where you're sitting.
Damn. This is what he does now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Amazing.
But yeah, his book Dream Seller is fucking
Small world.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That
a
was
cool
another
dude.
one like
Interesting character,
Vinny.
for
I
sure.
mean, there's a little bit of a backstory there, but it was as easy as Vinny being like, "Yo, man, trying to be on the podcast," and he's like, "Sure, no problem."
Yeah, you get a couple grungy Delco dudes together. It's like
We're just
it's-
making things happen.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are comfy with that.
I kind of gave him like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back
Mm-hmm.
type thing. So,
But
Why-
he surely didn't have to come from
Nah,
where he
he-
lived to come here to sit there to do the podcast. in
Wow.
person.
yeah, no, he could have told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah,
and
or just done it on Zoom.
Or I don't really have the
Exactly.
time. I'll give you a little bit of time on Zoom or. But
yeah,
he
no,
actually
I asked him. He's
drove
like,
here.
give me a time and a date, and I'm there.
He's like, I guess he's still local.
He lives in Philly. Yeah.
Nice. It's amazing. That's so funny.
Yeah, back to The Walking Dead. What I was saying, I think a lot of people dropped off because the story seems to repeat itself with different villains. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like I like that idea. Like I kind of enjoy trying to break down the world and what it would be.
Yeah, I love. What I love about Walking Dead is like it feels like it could happen.
Yeah,
Like it
take the
feels like
zombies out
real.
of it.
Yeah.
like that shit could happen if the world ate shit. Like that's what would happen.
Yeah.
the
like the
evil
dregs
that
of
presents
society.
itself from
Yeah.
humanity
Yes.
remaining
'Cause
bits of
unchecked.
humanity.
The
Yeah.
walkers seem to not even
That's all
be
legit.
like
That's
a
not even
threat
the main
anymore. That's
thing,
not the main
yeah.
thing anymore. Like they're just
Still
that's the
scary
basis
as
of
hell.
the show.
If
Still
that was
scary,
reality, I don't even know if I would want to live.
yeah. Oh, I wouldn't.
Would you want to live if you knew that like those zombies were outside?
Yeah, my wife said she's like, I'd immediately off us
I think
all.
I would off myself. I don't think I
yeah.
could do it. I don't want to live in that world. Just done.
I mean, that's not what I'm looking for, but I feel like I could do it.
It might be interesting to hack it for a minute.
Your back would hurt 2 minutes. You
My back
yeah.
would hurt.
You'd
So
have to-
what?
you'd
That
have to,
doesn't
like-
mean I wouldn't do it.
It seems exhausting. You're physically fighting, and like the level of cortisol in your body at all times from being so stressed out about
know.
where am I going to eat? We got to go forage. Hopefully, we don't get like mauled by zombies.
Yeah, I mean, that would
Ugh.
have to be an incredibly stressful existence.
Yeah,
Your
I don't
life
want to
goes-
live like that. That
Your life goes
sucks.
from being civilized completely to trust.
I'd live
no
right by
one.
the ocean.
Yeah.
I'd live a houseboat. Don't you think that would be the freaking move?
Fish, yeah.
That's
Yeah, you could fish. You're on the water, and it's apparently
Until
they
a storm
can't
comes
swim.
through, and then you're
Oh
capsized,
yeah,
and
then you're just a
fucked.
zombie
Yeah,
at
but
the
I mean,
bottom of the
then
ocean.
Yeah, which they,
Is
yeah,
that the spin-off, Ocean Zombies?
Oh man, now we're talking.
that could be
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
zombie NATO.
Somebody go call Tara Reid.
God. Yeah, I bet you get on the podcast at this point too.
Let it shoot your shot, Bill. Go ahead.
So I got an actor today to agree. Did you
Yeah.
ever see? I've been telling these guys about it, or him specifically. An Evening with Beverly Loughlin with Aubrey Plaza and Craig Robinson.
I didn't see that, but I know Aubrey Plaza and Craig Robinson.
Yeah, they're awesome. One of the actors in their film played Aubrey Plaza's brother. Agreed to be on the podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's very cool. I mean, you'll have so much to talk about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can just scoot into Aubrey and then Craig and then,
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, and then Hollywood's going to be in Steinman's basement.
Have you seen
Damn
Tim
right.
Robinson? I think you should leave.
I've heard so many good things about that, and
The
that's one of
guy's
those
a
things.
madman.
I'm like, I'm going to watch it soon. I'm going to watch it soon, and I haven't done it yet.
It's so easy too. It's like 20-minute episodes of
Yeah.
like the most ridiculous ass sketches. They're so bizarre.
That was
You don't know where they're gonna go.
that was the dude that wrote for SNL,
I believe.
and
he
these
did.
are all like, or at least in part,
Yeah, it's him.
sketches that
and
didn't-
then
didn't make the show.
God, what is his name? It's him and there's another actor. I am
Okay.
brain farting on his name.
So that's on Netflix.
Yes, it's so funny. I cry laughing.
Any of those?
Sam Richardson. Yes.
okay.
And then there's it's not Aubrey Plaza. There's another female comedian who's on it. There's a lot of comedians on that show, and Tim Robinson though, he's a sick motherfucker, a sicko. It's so good.
I've
Highly
gotta
recommend.
watch
Yeah, he looks like a sicko.
He's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
he-
the best.
And that cover, that's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a maniac.
I had a hard time, like, looking at that initially. I had a hard time believing it was that good, because I was
It's
like,
so
look at the
good.
cover. I mean, come on now. But
Just
I've
got
heard
really
a lot of
stoned
good
and
things.
put it on. Stoned and alone.
Yeah, that's something I'll definitely have to check out soon.
So is it just a sketch show? Is that what
It's
it
a
is?
sketch show.
I was trying to watch Eliza Schlesinger's
Oh,
sketch
she's
show.
great.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love
I
her.
couldn't get into her sketch show, but her stand-up's awesome.
I haven't seen her sketch show either, but her stand-up's amazing.
The Elder Millennial
Yes.
is like the best special.
Party goblin.
Yeah.
She waits and she waits.
She's
Yeah.
she's so good.
She's so good.
So, have you ever watched the Kroll Show?
Yes. And Big Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like,
Angel got me into Big Mouth now, and I'm just like, this is filth.
It's
Filth.
so terrible.
But how, like, weirdly relatable are some of those little tidbits in there? You're just like, I didn't think anyone else knew about that. But it's all of us are going through the same creepy, horny shit when we're growing up.
I know. She's like, I've never done any of this shit. I'm like,
Yes, you have. You've slid off the couch a certain way and you know it. You had a favorite teddy bear and you know it.
so, but have you seen Kroll do like Pennsylvania? Yeah. It's like my favorite thing
Yeah.
ever. The water ice fountain.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's sick too. I love him.
Trying to find this thing that Jess sent me about like things when you're a kid you don't realize that are happening in like cartoons, but like
Oh,
those
yeah.
sick ass jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a SpongeBob episode
I was
where
just going to bring SpongeBob up on that.
where one of them have their one finger through a pink donut,
Oh no.
2 fingers through a chocolate donut, and the chocolate donut has a bite
Wait.
taken out of it. So 1 in the
He's
pink,
backwards.
2 in the stink.
I think
Oh yeah,
you're
no, yeah, I
backwards.
was right.
I would,
2 in the pink
wouldn't
donut.
one rather only have the pinky
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
but then
stick?
there was like there was a bite.
We're going reverse.
I had to do the shocker to figure it out.
I had it reversed, but and then there was a bite taken out of the chocolate donut. Like
Oh my
eating ass.
God. There's
And then
just
I-
one line. He's like, Gary, you dirty boy. Just like, oh my God.
And then I saw this earlier. It's Pokemon, and it says
Ekans.
Ekans is snake backwards, Arbok is cobra backwards, Muck is
Come.
Come backwards.
Wow.
yeah.
And look
Sick.
at that Pokemon. It looks like a fucking pile of cum.
Yeah. So
Sick.
Dude.
If you were a
that's-
Pokemon, what Pokemon would you be?
Not that one.
Yeah. No?
it's funny. My son's really into Pokemon. He asks me all the time.
Aw.
Yeah.
And?
I can't ruin this. I don't know.
I'm at the same spot. I'm like,
you know what? I'd be Psyduck because I get fucking migraines all the time.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yep.
I feel like I'd be Godine. I like her. She was elegant.
I'm Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff.
Yep.
bro, Snorlax.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
I had to think about it for a minute.
I'm glad we had this talk.
How old are you?
31.
31. Okay, so we're all the same age.
Roughly, yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks only 151 Pokemon still exist? All the other ones are just bullshit.
I don't know it. Yeah, I don't know. You
Yeah,
couldn't tell
that's-
me. I barely know all 151 of them.
You put any of the 151 in front of me, I'll name them. I
I
promise.
literally would put my hair in like space buns and be like, I'm Pikachu. I swear to God, I was such a loser. Yeah, I did. There's photos.
But beyond that, my son's showing.
Can we
there's like
get one
1,000
for the
of them now.
artwork of this episode?
No. I don't know
I
where
had to
they're
ask.
redacted. I don't know where they are.
Yeah. My son's like the polar opposite. He's into like way too much like adult shit,
Yeah.
and he's only 7.
Where'd he get that from?
I came over the other night. He was drinking whiskey and smoking a cigar.
Get out.
No, but he's like, I was asking like, how do people become serial killers, Dad? I'm like, why do you want to know?
Their
He was
parents
like,
hurt them really bad.
yeah. How did Jason die? How did he drown?
Oh my God.
Why didn't they help him? I was like, 'cause the fucking counselors suck. Dude. That's why he fucking
That's
came
why
back
he's
and
here,
killed
yes.
them all.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm fascinated with serial killers. I have a do you listen to the last podcast on the left? They're my
I've listened to
favorite.
like a few
I've
episodes.
heard
of
it.
what they have,
When I have
follow it.
alone time to listen to a podcast, it's often that one.
Okay.
It's 3 like male comedians talking about serial killers and just odd things or like
I really appreciate the title of that. Like,
right? Isn't it great? The artwork's really good. And there's an actor on there, Henry Zabrowski. He's like their wild card,
Gotcha.
and he does all the impressions. You would like it.
Okay.
It's right. But yeah, like I learn a lot about serial killers from listening to them, and they're funny.
Right.
So it's not like as scary, and they're also not glamorizing what they did. Like Henry he'll like be them, like his character,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, like he's like, my mom never loved me. Like he's like it's like because they sucked.
Yeah.
You sucked. Yeah, some of them it's like okay, like they have this like rock star appeal, but like they were motherfuckers.
Right.
Some of them literally, like so.
Some of them are fatherfuckers.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Everyone's got
You
their
don't
twist,
know what happens, man.
Basically, just and like why I'm fascinated. Why aren't there serial killers now? And if there are, like, where are they at? I feel like there's too much surveillance, and everyone's allowed to like have their sexual twists now.
Right.
And there's like that was the problem. Like everyone was so oppressed.
DNA is a problem.
Well, yes.
DNA wasn't really big until the mid-90s.
Right. Well, they weren't catching them, but I mean, like, what are these people? These twisted up people, like, still around?
Yes, and I think
hell yeah.
I think the people that are being killed are people that aren't being looked for. Still,
Yeah,
See-
yeah. The less dead.
I think
Most serial killers are
People
rather
of
intelligent.
color, yeah, that's yeah. They people choose victims at this point because you can't just get away with stuff now the way you could back in the 70s when it was huge.
Right.
There's cameras and phones and tracking and like all of that everywhere.
I showed these guys. It was back maybe I forget what year it was, but somebody called in Howard Stern,
Oh my God!
and he was a serial killer, and he
What?
yeah,
I think that was early 2000s.
Wow!
And he was talking about where he did it, and he was picking up prostitutes.
Yep,
and
they're the
killing them.
less dead. People don't care as much when they're dying. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, like victims that like literally have no family or
Right.
nobody.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Those are the
sad.
ones that get taken.
Super sad. But I still have this morbid fascination with them. But the serial killers of old who did like really crazy shit
Yeah.
with their why do I want to know
Black
this?
Dahlia murder and all
that
that kind of
and like
stuff.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Holy shit!
Yeah, that
Jeffrey
motherfucker.
Do you
Dahmer.
know what he did?
Ed
Cut off
Gein.
heads,
Oh.
put them in the fucking freezer.
Torsos. He
Yeah.
had so many dead man parts in his in an apartment.
Yeah.
Ed Gein.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's so fascinating.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Another one. That was actually one of my favorite. This was terrible. One of my favorite memes of all time. Just because, like, when I opened it, it was the last thing I was expecting to see. Was remember all the "Call Me Maybe" memes
Yeah.
that went around?
Oh no.
It was. Oh God, what was the chorus of that song?
of Call Me Maybe.
Yeah, what was the words?
I hate to look right at you, baby. So here's my number. Call me maybe.
So they did the chorus, but the bottom was, "Here's my basement. I'm John Wayne Gacy."
Oh, yeah.
And the dude's dressed up as a clown. Oh my god,
no.
it was ridiculous. Completely caught me
no.
off guard. But it's one of my favorite memes ever. It was
Yeah.
so terrible. But
he was like, there's stories on the last podcast where like people like he was in a bowling league. And like in like I think involved with like the local Republican chapter, like and was like an upstanding man of the community.
Yeah, it's
so it's
always-
funny when you
they're
have these guys
so
who have like a
normal.
duality.
That's usually how it is, though, right? They
Yeah.
make themselves known in the
Some of them,
community. Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer kept to himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was friendly to his neighbors and
Yeah,
put on a good front.
There's a really great documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer. I think it's called the Jeffrey Dahmer Files. It's fairly new. I think I rented it on whatever like subscription service.
I was gonna say, is that the one on Netflix? Because I know
think
there was.
so.
I think I watched that one.
Well, there's a newer one, and his neighbor in Milwaukee, and he lives in like a mostly like black and ethnic neighborhood, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he was like, "Oh, it's near the chocolate factory," and she's like, "He was eating people." Right. So that was part of one of his twists, too, to get close to his victims that he wanted to deeply feel connected with. He would eat them.
I will eat your
And
heart.
yeah,
I will
literally
become you.
And he made this woman a sandwich and gave her a sandwich a couple times. And she was like, this motherfucker like gave me I took a sandwich from him. Oh, my God. Like, and it wasn't like, she was like pissed that like this guy was down the hall doing that and was nice to her. She's like, man, fuck you. Like, she didn't say that, but she was like, you know, they had like a friendship, and she kind of like, he was like alone, and she was like an older woman, and she was married, and like, but it was just like, oh, this nice guy down the hall, he's like by himself, like I'll check in on him.
What was in that sandwich?
Right? Who was in that sandwich?
Who was in that sandwich?
Crazy to think about.
I know, and people feel like I get it. 'Cause people feel betrayed or whatever.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
what it
mean?
was.
And even though you're not that close to them, like there's just that natural reaction, like, oh my god, how do I feel?
Right.
How like. Who is it? There's no rule book for how to feel when you're in that situation.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean.
like
Nobody's-
Sally Field and Mrs. Doubtfire. The whole time. The whole time. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite
whole
lines
time?
ever.
We have to leave. I need to leave. We have to go. Yeah. The whole time.
That and when the kid finds Robin Williams peeing.
He's a shishi. And shishi.
He
Yeah.
peed standing up.
You always
All of
know, like,
nature.
when they get caught, too, it's always, like, the same people on the news. They're
Oh,
always
yeah.
like, oh, he was such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I never could have seen him
Everybody,
doing
salt
this.
of the earth.
It's
Salt
always
of the
the
earth.
nice guys. Fucking incels. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, and to the point of, are they still around? Yeah, I think they are. I think that you don't get. So I think the issues and the drive are still there
Yeah.
in today's society, but you don't produce a serial killer the same one that you did in the 70s. Now you produce these
Mass shooters.
I was about
to say,
Exactly.
we're getting more
like
mass
that
shooters than
Travis
ever
Scott
before.
concert.
Oh my God.
8 people just the other night. Was that a shooter thing?
No, they got
people got
trampled to
trampled.
death.
Okay. I saw that was complete ignorance of the topic. I saw the headline and I just kind of assumed because at this point,
I know, isn't that sad?
every time that kind of shit comes up, it's
I think the
somebody
serial
brought a
killers
gun.
now, like the dude in Las Vegas, like if he wanted to be a serial killer, he at least knows, like, I'm probably going to get caught quickly. So let me take everybody out at one time.
That's
Right.
That
Yeah.
seems to be the idea. I'm going down, so I better make this as
And
big
some
as I
people
can.
want to be known for something. Like
Right.
that's part of the twist too. Like there's a sexual excitement from killing, or that's usually more of like an up close and personal thing. But like, yeah, like the notoriety that comes from that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's crazy. I'm reading. I've been reading this book for way too long. I also don't want it to end. I'm reading The Last Days of John Lennon.
Oh.
And I'm a huge Beatles freak.
Aw.
So I kind of don't want the book to end. You know what I mean? Oh, that's only some of my stuff.
I know. I'm just saying, like.
Oh, I'm telling
there's
her
the
that's
proof,
only
yeah.
a drop.
Yeah, there's
in
a
the
lot
bucket.
to look at in this recording area. This is cool.
Wait until I get the rest of it all hung up. There's
my
so
God.
much stuff. But yeah, no, that's another one. Mark David Chapman. He's an absolute son of a bitch, and
The guy who
crazier-
killed him, yeah.
crazier than anything. It's just so.
Yeah.
I can't even come up with the words for it.
Yeah.
It's very. The book takes you there.
Depraved.
The book is like a flip side. It's biographical and the aspect of like John Lennon and everything, but the Mark David Chapman portions are like told from his point of view kind of thing, and it's really just it puts you there.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, but it's something that I think of, when I watch those Dahmer documentaries,
Yeah.
Ed Gein, all those dudes. It's like
Totally.
you're fucked in the head,
You
man.
fucker. Yeah.
I mean, it
Jesus.
just ultimately breaks down to mental illness.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, there's
just
mental illness.
something just
It's
isn't
nature and
clicking.
it's nurture.
Yeah.
Because something snaps when bad things happen,
Right.
or when you witness something, or when your parents are a certain way, or you learn a lesson really early on, and then like those lessons early on too, like that's where the sexual twists come from, because your brain is just a computer and makes a connection between that and pleasure, and then you can't get rid of it.
That's
LOL.
that's great.
There's this guy I know who I found something out about today, and I can't really divulge too much until
Spill
we're
the
off.
tea.
Until we're off.
So we're gonna cut this section of the episode.
No. I can briefly explain. I was told his history. Like he grew up in a good family, and he was given like a $350,000 house, and like literally given everything. And this dude cannot stop fucking up his life. Like he made great decisions up until the point where he was like with his wife. They got divorced, and then bad decision after bad.
He was
decision.
finally free to do the
After
crap
bad
that you've
decision.
been thinking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get a dud.
Sometimes.
There's
But like his brother makes $150,000 a year. He's an engineer.
money can't buy happiness, clearly.
His father did really well for himself, and then
Just throw that out there.
sometimes shit just doesn't click.
Yeah. Yeah, you get some wires crossed. It's not one thing or the other, but yeah, it's just fascinating.
Dude, it goes to show you it can happen in most any environment. Look at Novak's story. I mean, with the drugs and shit, he grew up in a really nice family, nice house, whatever else. He was talking about how he had all that stuff, but still went down a terrible road. People just go down these roads, and sometimes there's just nothing anybody can do about
Yeah.
it. They have to learn these lessons the hard way. But
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, what drives them to do it, really.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
Oh, my favorite. I wouldn't say that it's like, when I say favorite, I don't mean like I
Most
love
interesting.
them.
Yeah. Like who's gonna be your husband?
No, none of these guys are my husbands. They don't. Yeah. I really. Oh, I find I'm very fascinated with Jeffrey Dahmer. What he did. It's so fucked. Albert Fish. You know that guy.
I
Elaborate.
know that name, I forget the story. What did he do?
He is literally like a goblin. Like one of the scariest people that's ever existed. He ate children. And then there's one thing where
think
he
I
sent
remember.
a letter to the child's mother and explained, like, told her everything. Like it was written like a love letter.
child.
Yeah, just like I took her outside to play, and then like he invited her back in, and then like the oven was on. And it's like all like literally told, yeah,
man.
that he's my favorite, but he scares the shit out of me.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, we can change the subject.
No.
I was going to say the one that interests me most was, I guess you can call him a serial killer, but he's more like a hired gun, was the Iceman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yep.
he was nuts.
So, and that was a guy that just had a fucking hot temper, and he didn't
Yeah.
care where he was. Could be fucking broad daylight, and if looked at him the wrong way, bullet through the face.
I
and he
remember
would just
one
keep on
story.
going.
He was walking. He left. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he's walking down the street, and this dude's taking a piss outside of a bar. He's like in the alleyway or something. Well, he's like, "Yo, buddy, you shouldn't be doing that." And the guy turns around. He's like, "Oh, fuck you," or something.
Right.
So he walks up behind him. He takes his belt off, just hangs him with his belt over his shoulder like nothing, and just keeps on going.
Damn.
That's the Iceman.
Yep.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Icy
I mean,
cold.
he's brutal.
Icy cold.
I don't know if I'd consider that guy a serial killer. Maybe he's just cleaning up the streets.
I don't know. Maybe the
This
other
dude
guy who
was
told him not to
not-
piss in the alley was trying to clean up the streets.
Yeah. No, that was the
No,
Iceman.
that was the guy.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Iceman.
Iceman
That's what I
told him,
mean.
like that, which was weird because it's like, he's kind of doing the right thing. Like,
Okay.
yo, buddy, don't go pissing in the alleyway or whatever.
Right. Okay.
And then he's like, fuck you.
Well, you can't just be killing people.
Right.
Either.
I mean,
It's not your job. It's not your, what gives you the right?
Right, but I guess the motivate. I mean, it doesn't make it right ever. I'm not trying to justify
This
it.
is justifiable.
But if we're trying to
homicide in Bill's
justify
book.
it in terms
guys-
of chopping people up and eating them versus
Oh, yeah.
stopping a guy from pissing on the street in the wrong way, but still stopping a guy.
It's still
But
it's
see,
still
it
a
didn't really.
spectrum.
It didn't have anything to do with the fact that he was pissing on the street. Though. That's,
It was
that's
the guy
real,
talking shit
The
back
truth
then,
of
yeah.
it. It was no. It was just the fact that this dude was going to kill no matter what.
He just wanted
It just
to.
happened to be this guy who was
Yep.
pissing.
And he was
around
another
anyway.
one that was still like just at the end of the night going home to his family. hot
Yeah.
meal,
Oh my God, that's the craziest
You
thing.
know, waking up with
Like
his
it's
kids on Christmas.
careful with the nice guys. Sometimes the ones that are keeping to themselves are just they don't want to be bothered. Sometimes they are dangerous. I don't know. As a woman, I don't fucking trust any of y'all.
Right.
So
And it's the weird thing to think about is like you're working.
Yeah,
with
we're
these
all the
people.
enemy.
yeah.
You
I came here by myself to
Which-
record a podcast in your basement. Do you think I wore Doc Martens for nothing? I'm getting out of here.
It's funny because I thought like Kirsten was going to come with somebody too.
Right?
Like I just expect women to come with somebody, like just for
Yeah.
the sheer like just the history.
It's
of,
crazy the shit that doesn't occur to you as men that is literally a constant presence in our life. Like
Right.
walking outside to my car in any capacity, I'm literally doing 360s. Like
See that?
that's
kinda-
every fucking day.
Yeah.
I have
And
two,
this is just everything I have to think about.
I have two little sisters.
Yeah.
I've lived with 4 women at the same time. I'm always used to that. Like
Yeah. You've heard it.
We've
Yeah.
always had. I think all of us have always had girls that we've looked out for.
Yeah.
We were kind of like more aware.
Well, you came recommended by Dan Malley, and that's as crazy as he is. He's got a heart of gold.
you know he's safe.
Yeah.
I know I'm safe with him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. So I
Yeah.
mean, like if he says you're safe to go there, you're safe to go there. There's
Yeah.
no question.
Also, we have a track record. It's on the internet. Like,
Yes, and well, it's like that
Most
too.
of
but
our
like,
guests leave this basement
here's
unharmed.
the thing.
if you go past that door,
Most of our guests
can't
leave.
guarantee. We can't guarantee your safety. Don't go through that
I
door.
couldn't really help.
I just it's like I just love so much men who look out and who check other men who are being shitty. That's how you stop it, or not, or that's how you combat it. It's probably never going to stop. But like, just knowing that there's safe guys out there is like, oh, I love
Me and
you.
Dan had that conversation. I was like, I will not tolerate that
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
whatsoever.
None of us do.
You'll get the best out of a woman when she feels safe. You know, in any capacity.
Yeah. I was just at a wedding.
A wedding.
A wedding.
A wedding.
A wedding.
My cousin's wedding.
A wedding 2 weeks ago, where some dude, I don't know how drunk he was, but he was beating up his wife, girlfriend, whatever she was. And
no.
one of the groomsmen jumped in and fucked that dude up.
That's right.
But then he left with her keys, so she couldn't leave the
Well, the
wedding.
problem is there's that altercation, but then there's all the shit that's going on at home, and people's like, "Why didn't you just leave?" It's like, "What are you, an idiot?" Like he's been wearing her down to a nub for years.
Yeah.
You can't just go.
I talked to her before I left, and I'm like, know your worth. Like, don't let anybody push you around.
It's absolutely, and again, it's just it's not that
It's
simple.
not that easy. I
Yeah,
know.
it's always easier.
But like,
said
there's
than
nothing
done,
more I could have
but-
said than that to her,
Right.
to make her
Agreed.
feel better.
Right, exactly.
Agreed,
And that's
from
what
an outside-
that's what it comes down to is know your worth. But this guy has made her feel fucking worthless. And it's when you're talking about wiring your brain, it's like braces, right? Like you can't fix your teeth overnight. If you have a bad mental condition, you can't fix it overnight. You might need medicine, but like every time you catch yourself in this I'm a worthless thought bubble, you have to it's a constant shift, and you can literally rewire your brain.
Right.
I mean,
It
this
just
poor
takes a
girl
conscious
sort of
effort
kind
Yes.
of.
Yeah, and it's
reroute
very
those
hard.
negative
It's way
thoughts.
harder said than done.
Yeah, this girl tried to like justify it.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like an okay thing.
Yeah, of course she did.
Like she's
'Cause it's
sitting
been
there with
happening.
no keys. She can't leave. Her
Yeah.
car can't leave the property, and I'm like trying.
He's
We're all
a
trying
master
to.
manipulator. He knows exactly
Right.
how to keep her where he
We're
wants.
all trying to figure out how to help her. Like
Yeah.
we're all offering our credit cards to pay for
You
her
beautiful
room.
man. You beautiful fucking man. I love it. Love to
And
see
she's
it.
just like, no, I'm okay. I'll just stay here. I'll sleep in my car. We're like, no, like we got to figure out something for you to do for the night. We can figure out how to get your car out here tomorrow, but we got to figure out what you're going to do right now.
That's so
And she's
nice.
like a little half cocked too. She wasn't drinking, obviously, because it's a wedding.
It's a wedding. Open bar.
But like, I mean, I was leaving. I'm like, is there anything I could do
Yeah.
for you? Like, can we get you anything? Can I take you anywhere? Because I was the only sober one. And she was just refusing everything. And I'm like, well, just know your worth. Don't let
Yeah.
anybody push you around.
Yeah.
And there's
that's-
nothing
at the end of
more
the day,
like,
it's not your job.
it's not.
Yeah, for
but
somebody
you
completely
did everything
outside the
you could
situation,
as a
there's not-
as a
And I
nice
even told her,
person.
I was like, I don't know what's going on with you
Yeah.
here or outside. I just know shit went down.
Well, speaking of the Travis Scott concert, this is bringing up a whole lot of content where artists have stepped in to defend their fans. And did you see where Kurt Cobain literally throws down his guitar and like calls a guy out for being a creep?
Oh, there's
think I
several
ever saw
videos.
that.
There's
Then I saw
several
another
videos of
video
other
of Billy
bands.
Joe Armstrong physically. You want to talk about Green Day's not punk? That's like all the comments in this video. Jumped off of stage and beat a guy up for assaulting a woman at his
I
concert.
did see that one.
Stopped. I think
Yeah.
someone in the comments was like, "He's had that guitar since he was 6." Like he threw it
Yeah.
and jumped in. He said, "I'll fuck you up." And then Trey, the drummer.
Bass
I think
player.
bass player, one of the other guys in the band. I forget who plays what. Like backed him up on the mic. We're like, look at the asshole, like literally calling this guy out.
That's awesome.
And like they get him out of there. But yeah, Kurt Cobain was like, hey, like he stopped playing.
Right.
And so it's like, as a musician, and I just saw the Flaming Lips last night.
Ooh.
And they
How was
didn't.
that?
Amazing.
Okay.
Wayne Coyne is a gift. A gift. That man is a fucking gem.
Everyone wants to work with him in the music industry.
And
Everyone.
I will tell you why. And you want to like between every song, like how are we doing? And he like talks to the audience,
Yeah.
and he's just like a beautiful soul. And he's like, when I say like in between every song, we always ask like, are you good? Like I mean, are you good? If we have to stop for 10 minutes, don't worry about it. We'll play 10 minutes longer.
Holy shit.
Don't worry about it. I
This
want
guy's
all of you to
awesome.
come together. It's love. Like it was so fucking beautiful and
This
hippie
is
and like
incredible.
trippy and amazing. And he didn't directly dig the Travis Scott concert.
Yeah.
But as a musician up there on the stage, like your fans are here for you. And if you're not like you're the reason, or they're the reason you are doing as well as you're doing.
You have a responsibility
You
to
have
them,
a
yeah.
responsibility to take care of them.
You owe them so much more than they
You
owe
owe fucking them.
Right. Without
And
them, you're not making
The
any
beef
money.
with Travis Scott is like you didn't even make an effort to. You have the power. You have the microphone. They're trampling each other literally to death for you.
Right.
They killed each other for you.
Yeah, that shit.
And
is
you have the
insane.
mic and the attention, and you can't just go, yo, they're going to listen because
Right.
you're Travis Scott.
Right.
So, yeah, and Wayne Coyne basically the whole night was just like, it was like all love. And like, you're controlling the vibe. And like when your vibe is chaos, sometimes, yeah, fuck yeah, it's rock and roll.
Right.
But then the other, it's like at the end of the day, like, why are metal people like the nicest people on the planet?
I
They're
know, that's-
exercising their demons. And like, this is, there's mosh pit etiquette, like, and like, an understanding going into that.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw that Travis Scott thing. I was like, but see,
Never happened at a metal show, and they
any
get the
metal
worst
show-
rap.
Do you know?
It's not that it never happens at the metal show,
Right.
but it's very rare, especially compared to how much
don't hear
it's
about it.
already
Yeah.
kind of happening, considering the fact that there's a mosh pit there.
Yeah.
Like anytime I was ever at a metal show near a pit, if somebody fell down, everybody that was stop,
Yes.
stop. We got to get them up. Like, God, I was a teenager. What the hell show was I going to see? It was Atreyu,
Oh, nice.
On Earth, Norma Jean, and
Hell yeah.
Bill. Were you there?
I might have been there.
No.
This was at the.
Was
the
it
Trop.
snowing?
Oh,
That's-
that's
yeah.
Because I had tickets to that show and
You
I didn't
sold
go.
those tickets.
Because yes, I did.
That's right. I remember that.
Damn.
Anyway,
I
We've
just
been
Atreyu,
friends,
though.
mind you, since we were children.
I think
Yes.
I was like
So,
15
yeah.
when this
Yeah.
happened. I'm the same age as you. So,
Yeah.
so this was,
I'm saying I might have been at the Atreyu
yeah,
show.
no, I'm
I
saying
was an
like,
emo
that's
bitch.
very possible
Yeah.
that we were at the same show. And we had everybody brought girls with them, and we rolled up in like a Chevy Suburban. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
nice.
there's like 8 kids getting out of the back of
Uh-huh.
this thing. So we go into the show,
See ya,
and
Mom.
everybody's it was my buddy's dad always drove
Yeah.
us to all the shows.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Oh,
But,
the best.
But we go down there, we go into the truck, and I guess we got there early or whatever, but we were up front, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden the pit opens up behind us, and the wall like kind of collapses, and some of the girls start toppling over
Oh, no.
backwards, and we're like, oh shit, we
Uh-oh.
can't bring the girls home all
Oh no.
busted up, you know what I
That's
mean?
not you're not
Like,
gonna see those girls again.
That's what I'm saying. We're dead. We're dead if we do that. So now all of us like, and everybody around us like made a wall inside of the pit. We just
Beautiful.
started helping people up because
Yep.
it wasn't just them, but it was them as well as
Right.
10 other people that fell down.
and
we're
at the
just
metal
trying to
show,
get
just
people
like
out
know
of the,
your place too.
Yeah,
That's what you learn from going to them. I was
Absolutely.
the girl at the edge of the pit pushing people in, and now I'm just like, nope, fuck no, fuck no. I'm prone to nosebleeds. I can't do it. I support you in the pit. I can't be pushing. I can't be on the edge. I love it though. I love the energy.
Yeah,
So-
my wife's the type of person who like has to be in the front no matter what show it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't.
I can't do that.
Like-
I used to. I was, and I'm little, so like no one cares if I'm in front of them. You can
It's so
see
easy
over
for
me.
you. It's so easy for you.
Yeah.
You just slip through the cracks in the crowd. And
I've learned. You learn that like. And if it's a show where people are dancing, you just kind of like you wiggle your way through. You kind of
Yep.
dance your way through. Hey,
You dance with everybody on
you
your way up
dance
to the
with
front.
everybody on your way over there. And then
Yep.
the best thing as a little person when you find your, I call them my linebackers. There's a big person moving through me, and I glue myself to the back of them,
Absolutely.
and I just like
Absolutely.
Whoop,
You don't even have to be a little person for that.
Just
If you just find
SpongeBob your way
anybody
to the front.
bigger than you are,
Yep.
you can just follow them.
Yep.
If they're moving through the crowd,
they don't know
you're
I'm
like,
doing it either. I'm just like glued to the back of them, and their girl. I'm like, don't let your girlfriend see me. I'm holding your sweatshirt, like literally. Yeah,
So, but yeah, I think she had to just like prove a point to me that she could do it. It's,
yeah, you're tough.
She can hang, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the most brutal death metal band like in
she
the
sounds
country,
cool.
and she's like, I can get up there. I'm like, just please don't.
We know you can.
Yes.
Like, we know you. Stop.
we know you can get up there, but can we get you back after
Yeah.
this? Like,
Yeah.
that's what we need to worry about.
You know,
my
so
God.
Although his wife's a bad bitch, so like
She sounds like it.
She's a bad bitch.
Sounds like my kind of
She'll
woman.
be fine.
yeah, we all had to kind of do like one of these like around, and she's like 5'2".
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm
same.
not that much taller, but
Without
like,
the docs on.
we're like this, and then there's like another guy that's like above us, just like
Yeah. Oh, that's the best. Love going to shows with big guys. I can just do whatever I want. You know, I'm safe.
Right.
Yeah.
So back to like people getting hurt at metal shows and how metal guys are compassionate. You've heard of Lamb of God before, right? Mm-hmm. So did you hear about Randy Bly when somebody died at his show in Prague?
No.
This was quite a few years ago, but so somebody died at his show in Prague, and then when he got back into the States, I believe, Customs picked him up,
Oh my goodness.
and they said, somebody died at your show, you're getting charged for murder. They brought him back to Prague. He was in a jail in Prague for like a month before the band was able to get him out
Well, he
on like
went
$1
back to
million
Prague. Like,
bail.
that was-
well, he didn't go back to Prague first. What happened was he got arrested, stayed in a Prague jail, and then the band posted bail. The band posted the $1 million bail,
No, I remember.
and then he had trial.
Jesus.
And he went back for trial. And
Well,
he
how
said,
did they
whatever
die?
happens.
They got trampled?
So the
Apparently,
story
the kid hit his head on the floor.
Okay.
Like in the mosh pit, he tried to get up on stage and got pushed
but
off.
there's more because the story, at least the story that circulated the internet, was that the kid tried to get up on stage. Randy had the mic stand and didn't hit him with it, but he pushed him off of the
Well,
stage.
Okay.
I watched.
and as a result, see, that's very
That's-
different.
You got to watch the movie As the Palaces Burn. It goes through the whole thing.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. So I went to the premiere of that.
And again,
Lamb of God was
what
there.
I said, preface that with that was what I saw on the internet.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
big,
See?
There's
big grain of salt thing right there.
Yeah.
There's a video of somebody getting on stage and getting pushed off by Randy, but the kid lands on his feet and walks away.
Okay.
But that was what they were saying Randy did. That he pushed the kid off stage, the kid fell, hit his head.
That would be a totally different matter.
But that kid,
Right.
whatever kid died at that show, did fall and hit his head.
Yeah. It's
So they
not
were
like,
trying to blame the band for his death.
Yeah,
It's-
obviously the kid's dead, but the only question is the band at fault in any way?
But
it doesn't.
he,
It's not like what. It's got to be. It's like a case by case thing.
yeah,
Right.
But he didn't have to go back to Prague to face that. He knew he didn't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
but he went back to face that, and he's like, "If I'm guilty, I'm going to jail for 10
That's
years."
what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. He opted to
But
go.
that's
that way.
how,
he could
like-
have tried to run or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's how compassionate metal dudes are. That,
Yeah.
He's just
I
like, fuck
totally.
it.
Yeah.
and literally, he knows that would have ruined the career of the band.
Well, yeah, and it's security's job to get people off your stage. You
Right.
don't have to push people with the mic stand, but whether you did or not. But yeah, but as a performer with a massive following and the microphone, say something.
Yeah.
You do have a responsibility to your fans.
absolutely. I mean, look how
They're
many people
paying
stop.
you.
Look how many people stop concerts when they're afraid that somebody's recording it with their cell phone and that they're going to lose some money. You know what I mean? If you're
Yeah,
willing
if
to
you're
stop
that
it for that
concerned.
reason, why not stop and actually protect your fans? As
Yeah,
well?
and the
You
real
know what I
rock
mean?
stars like Kurt Cobain that can stop their show, and for a sexual assault that they can see from the stage, like
Right.
you can stop people from getting trampled, or at least say something.
Yeah.
And also, like, Jesus fucking... Did you see any of the footage from that show?
The Travis Scott one?
Yeah.
No.
There's
not yet.
people, like, the sea of people not to mention the fact that we're in a pandemic. Not to say I wasn't at a show with my mask off last night, but I wasn't that still.
Right.
They're like fucking dying. Even the security guard is like can't even do anything about it.
Yeah.
They're so like some kids' hats getting knocked off. Their sweatshirts like they're suffocating each other. Like, you could suffocate.
Oh,
it was
easily,
crazy.
in crowds like
I've
that.
been to
that's
festivals
insane.
like that too, and the worst problems I've ever had are not at like rock shows.
Right.
Some girl punched me in the face at oh god, who was playing? Just because I was up front and someone knocked into the back of me, and we were on the rail.
Yeah.
Where people are swaying and moving, and I'm like, you've never been to a rock show before.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of the crowd at that point.
Yeah.
There's no.
I'm blanking on who was playing, but it was during my time at 104.5, and I was at one of their events, and she like hit me in the face, and my sunglasses like hit my eye, and I had like a little bit of a black eye, but I was like, I didn't even physically try to push you. I'm not. You can see we're both short. Like even if like my elbow's on the railing, like when people get all stingy about their space,
You're at a fucking
get
concert.
the fuck
Yeah.
over yourself.
Fuck you.
We're
Yeah, this
all
ain't the
trying to see
place.
this band, and like if I can like have you next to me, like I don't mind.
Right.
Ew. Everyone's all like greedy.
Yeah. It's. It depends what kind of show you're at, really.
It's yeah.
I mean, the crowd. Like I went to another on our show up at the community club with you guys, and
Yeah, metal dudes don't give a fuck.
who was it? Amur was on, and I'm getting slammed. That was after I lost you guys. I don't know where you were at the time, but I'm like probably 3/4 of the way up to the front of the stage, and I'm getting slammed to the side, and I'm right by the one wall, and there's this poor girl next to me, and like I said a minute ago, you're at the mercy of the crowd in those situations, and I'm getting slammed up against the wall, and I got both hands
You're just like,
on
"I'm sorry."
either side, exactly, and I'm looking at her, and I'm pushing for all I'm
Like, I
worth to try to
physically
stop her
can't
and I
stop
both
this from happening,
from
yeah.
getting crushed,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not. She's like, I get it, and then like just as she says that, the crowd just like collapses, and I'm like,
Oh,
this
God.
poor girl is gonna like die.
Yeah.
Like she's not making
Get
it
her out of here.
alive
Yeah,
tonight.
for sure.
But-
I was just at a metal show at Johnny Brenda's.
Okay.
Creeping Death and Exhumed.
Shit.
Yeah, it was really good.
Nice,
And I
okay.
was like upstairs with my friend Tati, and who did this tattoo, and we were like headbanging on the railing, and these guys right next to us are just like. Some people are like, I was just having this conversation with my friend Jessie from 104.5. Her and I were in the pit at Incubus one time.
Okay.
It was so much fun. We were having a blast. Her and I are crazy together. And we're in the pit at Incubus.
Yeah.
We're dancing. I'm not even looking at my phone.
Right.
I'm that kind of person. If I need to get a clip for my life, like I'll get one, but I put my phone away right away. Half the time I'm pissed because it's not good footage because I'm so excited and trying to be in the moment.
Yeah.
So we're dancing around the pit at Incubus. I'll say it again. And everyone else in the pit is fucking stone cold. Not moving. The guy in front of us was Facebook living it for like 3 people. I could
my
see.
God.
I was like, "You're a loser." But like, just watch the fucking concert.
Right.
These people have no idea how to go to a
They-
concert.
or it's like you're watching it on a tiny little screen when the fucking thing is right there, and like you're in the pit at Incubus. Move your body.
Yeah.
What do you? I
So-
don't get it. How people can stand on a show.
here's
and
a
not get
here's
excited.
here's a disclaimer. If I was in the pit at Incubus, I would be stone cold just staring at them because I'm a musician and I'm trying to break down what they're doing. So there's a
Is
different reason why.
everyone in the pit a musician trying to break
Possibly.
down
I
what
don't-
they're doing? Then?
I don't know,
Because
but
they sucked.
I'm always amazed by like what musicians. are
Yeah, so
doing
do
on
I. But I
stage.
still want to like. As a musician,
I'm dancing in
how
my
great
head.
is it when people are rocking out though?
Yeah,
it
it's
sucks when people
awesome.
See,
stand
that's
there.
the thing. You've played on stage. Do you want your crowd to stand there and
No.
watch you?
No, but it's I can't help myself. Like that's just how I enjoy
get it, dude.
concerts.
It's
do the
a
same
couple
thing.
people is fine, but I'm like, it's the, they're right there. Like they can really see you. Like I was having fun, and people are like glaring at us for like dancing and jumping around.
Yeah, you're the weirdo. How dare you
I'm
jump
the
around
weirdo.
at a rock
And I said it
concert?
too. I was like, I'm the weirdo, like drinking my Miller Lite tall boy with my gigantic slice of pizza.
So I will say that I know that feeling. We played in Pittsburgh when I was in Purple to the Core, and we had 2 sets to play. One was like an early set, and then one was like an 8 o'clock set. And the early set, there were a bunch of people there, but like there was like the floor where they would stand on, and then they were sitting in like seats at tables. And like I get on the mic, I'm like, "Why don't you guys come up here?" And they just
Right?
stare at me, and I'm like, "I guess not."
They,
and
like,
then we
were
played the
playing
whole
off
set,
each
and
other.
it just sucked.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel good. I didn't want to play it.
Even like last night, Wayne Coyne was like when like people get quiet because they're excited to hear what they're going to play, but it takes him to get his like minute to get his bubble set up. Like it's a whole thing. And in the meantime, he's like, yeah, come on, like he's like trying to get
hype 'em
everyone.
up,
Yes, he's like, keep making noise, and it was this big fuck yeah moment. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Somebody say fuck yeah. Everyone say fuck yeah. Like he's like when there's silence, he's like nah, like he won't let it happen.
Nice. Nice. You got to keep that energy
You're
up.
the controller of the vibe at your show.
Absolutely.
So control the
Absolutely.
fucking vibe. Make it a fun place to be. And like you'll keep making money. Why does everyone want to work with Wayne Coyne? Because he's a gift. The man's a gift.
So do you? You said you sing, right? Mm-hmm. Have you been in any bands? Have you? Sang in any
I don't have
bands?
enough recordings. I just was like I was doing it in high school with like guys who were sort of in like a jam band sort of thing. Very similar vibe to you guys. And they were called Swell. They just would play and they're like, well, we could use a singer. And I was like, all right.
They weren't great, but they were swell.
Yeah, they were swell. I don't know why. It's all the bands I've been in had like so there's electronica band I was in called Null. They go by Blend Mode now and they're really good. You may have even caught a buzz, but they're more like, electronica, vibey, could play a festival. Gotcha. And I lived in South Carolina when I went to Coastal, and I was in a blues band down there and a gospel choir. The gospel choir asked me to join because they heard me in the laundry room.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was the only white person. It was awesome. I'm half Jewish, so I had to act like that wasn't a factor in like Jesus songs. But like it was just like I'm just trying to sing with these people because they fucking rock.
Right.
And I was in a blues band called The Sweat. That was the best. We actually are talking. We've been talking about because we never really made like recordings. We would play shows, and this was like 2008, 2009. So it was like a while ago.
Yeah.
And we all say that the way we made music, like we've never had that level of a connection with another group of people. And we've played with other people, and it's just like John plays guitar, like I can immediately I already know what I want to sing.
Right.
And like, you know, Leary's on the bass, like, oh God, okay, like it's really coming together. And like it was so good, and we had like such a good connection. And not to be one of those girls that calls some of my brothers, but like it was like they were such dear friends of mine. And we were like, oh my God, this is my idea because I want content. I'm 31. Like I'm like, we were so good. We don't have like recordings of each other. Let's get an Airbnb in like Asheville or something. And
My
like
favorite city in North
right.
Carolina.
I've never been, but I
Asheville's
hear
the
it's amazing.
best.
I'm like,
Yeah.
let's like some of them still live in North Carolina. I was like, let's get an Airbnb like sometime in the new year after the holidays, and just like take a little bit of shrooms and like make a setup. And with some lights and like record some covers and see if we can squeeze out some originals or like try to remember the ones we used to play. Right. Like let's get together in like a isolated environment and try to get creative for like a long weekend and film it and like have something to show for ourselves just for fucking fun.
Oh, it's the best to have to walk out. Like I mean, similar group. I won't say it's like a blues group or anything, but like
bluesy.
just like a jam band with blues undertones.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
We were not a band by any stretch, but we were all guys that knew each other very well. We were existing friends aside from the music, but we also happened to jam very well together.
Yep.
Like we're the same way you were talking about.
That's
like, oh, this
exactly
one's
it.
playing bass. I know what I want to play.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just like that. And we
It's
walked
magic.
out after one afternoon with like a full CD,
Right?
Just completely recording equipment. We found spur of the moment. We were like setting shit up. Like, how do we're gonna mic the whole
Yep.
room, and whatever happens. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had a CD out of
That's
it. And
so
I think I
great.
still have it somewhere, but like,
Right? And it's like just for you and it's just for fun. And when you make music that way, people are like, this is really good.
yeah,
Like just because you made it for yourself, not because you were trying to make a hit or whatever.
right, yeah. It wasn't trying to get it played on the radio.
Right.
Just we're gonna record what we're doing, just to see
Yeah.
if it's as
Just to
cool
have
after the
something to show
fact
for
as it is when we're playing. it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, does this sound as cool later?
Because we were having fun doing it. We're like,
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up with a lot of talented dudes. A lot
For
of talented
sure.
musicians.
But I've had those few times where we've recorded, and at the time we're like, yeah, it sounds good, and then you hear it back, you're like, it's not so good.
You were off key. Yeah.
Everybody's done that at some point.
Oh, for sure. But you had fun in the moment, and that's really what counts.
Yeah, like our final hour record was, like our demo was terrible.
Yeah.
But like those times in the studio.
Well, for being recorded in a professional studio, it sounded fucking awful.
Yeah, which that was when Red Planet was just starting.
Oh,
out,
that's where I rehearsed.
Red Planet.
Yeah.
I worked there for a little while.
Oh my
with Joe Smiley.
God.
You know Joe
Joe.
Smiley?
No.
Okay, or Bruce.
I don't know the
they
people who run it.
built-
I just knew the bands I played with in there.
Okay, so they built a studio. I mean, that studio's been there for a long time, but they've redone it. And when they redid it, I worked there for like.
So Blend
a
Mode
year.
practiced there, Null practiced there, Swell practiced there. All the bands I just mentioned, we all played at Red Planet.
Yeah, I had a room there.
Smoked bowls on that balcony many times.
They're
Everybody
it's a good
smoked
place.
balls on that balcony.
What else?
at some
Ooh,
point.
yeah, Cigs bowls. We're staying up late. Yeah.
What else
Oh
you were
man,
doing
those
on
were
that
the
balcony?
those were the good times. One of Null's like photos is in like that big like industrial elevator.
That elevator.
Everyone's got a band photo in that elevator, right? Because everyone fits there. You can back up and take a photo.
Scary.
I had like a badass coat on in that picture too. And then what really would get me was the guys in the band. I was trying, like, I'm the one female in all the bands I've ever been in, and it's like, will you please like change the regular Phillies t-shirt and just like look a little bit more like a rock star for the show or the photo? Like, just be yourself, be comfy when you practice, but like if you're something to look at even a little bit, you're something to listen to.
That's how far
that.
back it dates.
Oh my god, with your Cannibal Corpse shirt.
We were 16 because I remember not long after that we played the Trocadero. That was like our
Hell yeah.
played
Yeah,
the
we
main
never
stage
got
of the
that
Troc.
big. It was always just like for fun around.
Oh, it wasn't big. We had to sell tickets and
Still, that's so cool. You got the truck.
I mean, it was pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
We got to play like bands that we'd love to see.
Yeah, if that's not a band photo, I don't know what it is.
Oh my god.
we were
Such an
babies.
early Delco band photo. That's really good. Lamb of God. Yep. Hell yeah. That's amazing. The Black Dahlia Murders. So good. Who's the guy on the right? Tell me about him.
Mike Pipitone. He's now called Architect, and he is
I remember that
a
picture.
relatively successful
Is he a DJ?
dubstep producer.
Yes.
Yeah, Architect. Yeah.
I have some friends who are getting big, namely one good girlfriend I went to high school with who's getting pretty big into dubstep now, and I feel like that's why I was like, I can fuck with it. I wouldn't say I'm not really listening to it in my car all the time. But certain ones really slap, and seeing your friend succeed, you're like, all right, I'm gonna listen to her shit, whether it's my shit or not. She goes by Zaya.
It's funny. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Send me riffs," because he wants to like put them into a song.
Send him riffs.
Yeah, I'm using them riffs for myself. Stingy.
Send him riffs.
Yeah, they don't help me out though.
No.
No, because he just puts them in his song, and he's done it before. He puts them in his song, and like, then it's just his song.
Well, you gotta draw up some sort of something.
Some contract.
Yeah, if you're a professional musician, you gotta know what it is to like
Yeah,
sample
then
your
it turns
stuff
I
out.
thought we were boys.
Yeah.
It's never I thought we were boys.
I
Yeah.
can't fuck with that.
I know some actors like in SAG-AFTRA and stuff, and like speaking of Mayor Easttown, like some of my friends from Bates Motel, they were saying like they were filming like next door to their house. This is a friend of Dan Malley's. He's the makeup artist at Bates Motel, and apparently it was like he knew because he's in the union that like if your like your property, like there's some sort of something there. If you're in the union and you're filming on my property, like you owe me a little bit of money or like something. So he like sent something out and the union backed him up and they paid him.
No shit.
Yeah, this backdoor payment shit. I got to get involved with that.
Yeah, it's like call it like a 5 or something. Like there's a term for it. I'm clearly not a union actor, but
Basically,
I will
send a
be.
contract. Fuck you, pay me.
Exactly. It's called the fuck you pay me contract. That's what it is. That's the official term.
I'm gonna send that next time I send Pip a riff.
Right? Well, there, as a professional musician, there's a procedure for that.
Yeah, there's contracts
There's
you can
gotta
write
be.
up and like percentages you can work out prior to.
Yeah, or you could come up with
And then
some
there's
sort of template.
there's like a point. You get a go by points. I've never got paid for my music other than playing live, so like I'm not really familiar with how that.
I
sells.
just know that there's got to be a procedure.
and I've never
for
tried to
things like
sell my own music.
that. Well, if you just sit there noodling around, you can make a whole lot of money on stock music for like shows and mega tracks and
Yeah, I
monster
s- I
tracks.
saw that
at
the other
iHeart.
day.
Like we subscribe to a music tracking channel, and it goes all over the radio. And like as a musician who's produced the album of songs that could be under commercials, like make so much money from that from noodling around in your house with your recording equipment.
Oh yeah.
I keep
long as it
saying
sounds
that
good.
you need to sign up yourself like on Fiverr.
I
and
know.
Get hired by people. Just
I
to,
have
like- you have?
no. Maybe as a musician.
We need to have
Yeah.
a conversation off of mic. off mic about.
But as
Definitely.
maybe as a musician, if you just want some bread and butter, but Fiverr can cheapen the industry. Specifically the voiceover industry. If you're a voice actor, please don't fucking use Fiverr. They cheapen you, and it's just like what you're doing is worth so much more. Like my microphone didn't cost $5. My training didn't cost $5. Like
Right.
this recording studio did not cost fucking $5. My 30 years of experience. Like come on.
All the time, all the hours, that I've put
Yeah.
in, all the like recording equipment that
It's
I've
taken
purchased.
hours and dollars in order to make 30 seconds of your time, and you don't need 5 takes because I can do it immediately because I'm really fucking good.
Right.
So like that doesn't cost $5. It costs like, it costs a lot more than that.
Well, there's like for musicians on there could be, I'm looking for a guitar part on this thing.
Everything's not $5.
Right.
Right,
yes.
and I'm willing to
Charge
pay
what you want.
$500, and like, I could make you a $500.
If a pay the
Song,
it's a
whatever.
case by case. If a pay to play is worth it for you, go
It's-
for it.
So it's such like a conundrum for me because like that sounds great. Like I can make money, but like I work a day job to make
Right?
money.
It's really we just
like,
talked about
and then
that
when I
so
come
hard.
home, like if I have time to play guitar, like I don't want to work on somebody else's shit. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to put guitar tracks to your thing because I have songs I've have written that I don't ever get to record.
Right.
Like I have countless songs I've written that are just demo versions.
Yeah. I mean,
So, like, why
it's
am
about
I gonna-
turning that into your full-time job?
And it's not about the money. Like it's a great like if I could turn that full time and like 8 hours a day I could record other people's shit and then the rest of the time I could do mine, I would do it. But having a
What's
child.
your day job?
I work I'll tell you off mic. I work
Okay.
at a school district.
Okay. Awesome. Yes, that's an off-mic combo.
But
Yeah, I mean, dude, you've got hundreds of hours.
I got
Easily
so many
hundreds of
hours like that
of
it's
all of us
it's hard to
recording.
even like I used to make hip hop beats. I used
Sweet.
to be in a hip hop group called Irregular Minds.
Irregular Minds?
Yeah, and then
Why is that
once
familiar?
Josh Mustapic.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe if I heard it.
You've probably
Danny
heard of
knows,
us.
so I don't know if that
Yeah.
Cool.
Where are you from?
circles ever.
Delco, Havertown, Ardmore. The Delco side of Ardmore.
Where do you live now?
I'm in Conchi now.
Conchi. Okay. Because if you ever lived in Glen Mills, that's where one of our guys.
Okay, yeah.
But you might have seen our stickers places. Like we were.
I had a big hip hop phase too. I was
Okay.
singing hooks.
Yeah, we were climbing until both the dudes started doing drugs.
Oh,
One
no.
dude quit, and the other dude got so depressed that the other one quit that we worked on like 2 more songs after that. And
That sucks.
yeah, so I started making hip hop beats for other rappers, and they're all pieces of shit. And in a nutshell,
Honey, I dated a rapper. I know.
yeah, they're special humans.
Not going back.
So the 2 I worked with were great to work with, like just exclusively, but like trying to like give beats to other rap, I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gave that up real quick. But it was a good experience.
Yeah, and many of them don't have a lot of money to help you, pay for the beats.
Yeah, and like I'm really weird about.
Could give
and
you a
it's-
Newport and half a
Right.
Black and Mild.
Yeah, that's all I got, dude.
So it's
I got a 40
probably-
in the fridge.
It's probably my own personal hang up, but I'm really weird about just here's the beat, go make it your song. Now this is Talia,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, and like, yeah, Bill made the beat, but like Bill doesn't get the credit for the beat. Like if we're making
you're-
music,
yeah.
I'd rather it be like, all right, together.
Yeah.
Bill and Talia are making the song together
Right.
because 50% of that
like
song,
Ryan Lewis to Macklemore.
all right, the reason why that half of the reason why that song sounds good is because of me.
Yeah.
Not because of your voice on it, like that elevates it and
Right.
gets it over the top and gets
Well,
it to
if
be
you're
a
a
good
good
song.
rapper or singer upon such a thing, then
Right.
it can be a collaborative effort for sure, as it should be.
as it should be.
Well, your
And-
name should always be attached to your producer credits.
Yeah, it usually is produced by whatever, but like, and
Yeah.
like I don't even like.
It's
the
about going
fanfare
through
of it,
legitimate
but it's-
channels to get that stuff out there, though.
Yeah,
Like mega tracks, monster tracks, like all like those are like the software you use to download music like this. Like you could literally just make an album of like upbeat commercial songs, and then you sell it to Megatrax, and they sell it to the radio station. So like you're not gonna, but your song could be everywhere because it has access to like a big database of stock music.
all right.
So there's a way to, it's not, if you want recognition, that's not the way to go, but
I'm not necessarily needing the
Yeah.
recognition. that wasn't what it was about. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to give you a song and let you fucking blow up over it,
I hear you.
and then me not get shit at the end.
So you're,
See, I could
you're
give it
pretty
to a
good.
commercial, but I couldn't give it to a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm not saying I'm pretty good.
You're saying you're very good.
I'm not saying that either.
Phil said, I'm the best.
I'm the
I just
best.
say that I know how to make music.
Okay,
That's the best compliment I'll give myself.
noted.
I know how to
Also
write a
okay to
song.
be confident. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, I know how to write a song,
Hell yeah.
but like to say
Phil makes
that
good music. We'll
I-
play
Yeah,
you
you
some
do.
before you go.
Good.
I can't. I don't know. It's weird to say that I'm good. I'm fucking good.
People have a problem
I will
admitting when
tell
they're
you-
fucking sparkly. Be sparkly, bitch.
I will tell you that I am
All right,
better
hold
than
on.
most people at playing guitar.
Good.
Better than most people you know, but I am far from like a great guitar player.
Okay.
So, is that fair to say?
That's self-aware.
Don't ask me.
Shut up, Bill.
Be sparkly, Bill.
He's afraid that I'm going to be like, you'd be fucking nowhere without me. Like, I taught you how to play guitar.
I
Don't you
did.
dare.
No. I'm just saying. Is that fair to say? Is that a fair assessment about myself?
Yeah, dude, you rip.
He's a really
Hey,
good
dude,
guitar
you rip. Come on.
That's it.
Next
End of
next
story.
subject.
Yeah.
Next subject. My Little Pony.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Bill's a brony.
I'm a brony. no. I wanted to know like how deep.
Humble about guitar, but a very proud brony.
Very proud brony. Yeah. Jess and I are into horsey play.
Oh, see, now he's not afraid to be sparkly. Twilight sparkly. Oh,
We've been talking about puppy play. That's next.
who's a
I'm
good
the
boy?
puppy.
Are you the
Feed me
good
the
boy?
treats. Yeah, I'm the good boy.
Makes me think of Stuart from Mad TV. I'm a puppy.
Oh my
I'm a
god.
puppy.
Speaking of him, did you see
Stuart?
the new Halloween?
No.
Yes.
He's in the new Halloween.
Wait,
Is he
no
really?
way.
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
one of the
see
gay
that.
guys in the new Halloween.
Oh, that's
Oh my
so
God.
funny.
yeah.
That's great.
I'm
And
in
now,
my
now,
dark place.
Michael Myers is homophobic because he kills both the gay guys because they live in his
please.
house.
I've read an article. That's crazy.
Michael Myers is homophobic.
No.
In
He's
my
a fucking
opinion,
killer in a horror movie.
Hold on.
everybody dies
Did you see the whole Chris D'Elia rant
Oh god.
about
of the new Halloween movie.
yeah,
No.
and how people are like getting all pissed off because saying Michael Myers is homophobic now.
That's so stupid.
I've seen that defended by gay people on the
I
internet
know.
too.
Chris D'Elia's like, don't you want to be included? I was like, geez.
That's kind of the logic there. Like,
Well, he's not killing them. It's just he's there in his house.
Michael
and in
My-
the movie, they're giving like
When you're Michael Myers, everybody gets the smoke.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Like he fucked up a whole yard full of firefighters. First responders, are they
Yeah.
saying he hates first responders?
Yeah, Michael Myers is the spokesperson for.
Michael
defunding
Myers
the
says
fire
no lives
department.
matter.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn right.
100%. No lies.
He said, "I want all your lives.
Yeah.
all of them."
But yes, I voice matched Ashley Ball for so what it was, I was my personal favorite pony, which is Rainbow Dash. She's like the badass one.
Okay.
She's got she's blue, she's got rainbow mane, and she's sort of like the tomboy of all the ponies.
Okay.
I feel like if I were a My Little Pony, it would absolutely be Rainbow Dash. And she's one of the few ones that can fly, and she's on like the fast flyer team. And all the other ones are like little princesses, and she's like, yeah, I kick ass. Like that's Rainbow Dash. So Ashley Ball is the one. She's like a famous voice actor, and she does Rainbow Dash. And Rainbow Dash is like, yeah, like she's like a rad pony. So I'm part of this group called Voxy Ladies, and it's not an agency, but it's a network of women who help get each other voice acting, and it's run by this fabulous lady named Lisa Biggs. And Lisa Biggs has a vocal disorder where it's just a cool story sidebar, where she sounds like she's perpetually 6 years old. Her vocal cords like never matured. She's
Okay.
like in her 30s, almost 40s, and she's like, oh my god! So she like voices like all these characters for Toys R Us, like
Sort of like Michelle Wolf.
yeah. There's people with like baby voices out there.
Right.
Like when she calls to order a pizza, people are like, "Can you put your mom on?" So she invented Voxy Ladies to help other women get jobs that she herself couldn't perform.
Right.
So I joined Voxy Ladies, and it's like her entity. Like people's demos and pictures are on the site. They have like a conference every year, so I got the job through them. And other Voxy Ladies were the other ponies. And yeah, Ashley Ball voices her. So it was a My Little Pony live show in Dubai. So my job was to record the parts, like the script that was sent to me, and then send it to the producer. And what they did was they turned it into a production. And then there's people in Dubai in pony suits at the fucking big ass Dubai mall being Rainbow Dash, and like my voice is coming out of them in English. So so that was fun. So I wasn't on television. It was in My Little Pony Live, but I think it's still fucking really cool.
That is cool. I wanted to ask if you were the face. Like, do people know you for that?
No,
do you get,
that's
like,
just a cool
bronies
gig
being
I did.
fucking
Oh my
weird?
god. Oh my fucking god. I don't know if I would love that or hate that. I think I could handle that. But yeah, that's no one knows me because it's Ashley Ball. If anyone's gonna brony out, it's over her.
Gotcha.
And well, I went in 2016. I went to a fabulous voiceover conference in LA, voiceover mastery, and I met Twilight Sparkle, who is Tara Strong, and Tara Strong. You know her. If you're a nerd, you know who Tara Strong is.
Are you a brony?
No.
No, she's more than Twilight Sparkle.
You know Tara Strong.
She's Bubbles. She's
Bubbles from Powerpuff
Harley
Girls.
Quinn.
Harley Quinn. What? I
Fun
literally.
and company. Yeah, that's Tara
awesome.
Strong.
I was literally.
She's
just
Dill
watching.
Pickles from the Rugrats.
There's
that's
somebody
badass.
else.
And I met E.G. Daly, who is Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles. Yeah.
And I met Winnie the Pooh, whose name is Jim Cummings, and he also voices Ticker. We had a drink at the conference, and he's like, "There's plenty of opportunities out here." And I was like,
Yeah, in the
Winnie-
1,000 Acre Woods.
"Yeah, Winnie the Pooh is telling me to like move to LA because my dreams are possible." I'm like, "What the fuck is anything?"
I love watching those videos of like voiceover actors.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
sitting at like a round table, like voicing their characters.
Reading it, yeah, so much fun. I would love to do more character acting. Like commercials have been my bread and butter, and you can still hear in my voice. It's like literally still husky from Bates Motel. Like it just ended a week ago, but like,
What part were you in?
so they had me in the last room. So if you don't know, when you get to Bates Motel, there's 3 attractions that are part of it. And so you buy your ticket. I think it's like $40 and you get a hayride. This year, unfortunately, you'd walk through the woods because they're a small family owned business. Don't give them shit. They can't have any COVID liabilities. So you walk through the woods. And normally that's a hayride, and that spits you out into like a corn maze. And then after that, there's the haunted house, and you can go through it. So the very last scene in the haunted house, they call it the last room, and it's right where the exit is, but the doors are closed, and then it's like this little room with like fake candles all over the place and this really scary like ghost projection on the wall, and there's like fake windows, and they had me all dressed up as a corpse bride with like prosthetic dead rotting flesh on my face and a headdress and like this tattered like wedding gown that's covered in blood and burned and
Black teeth, the whole bit.
black teeth. Oh, that was my favorite, like having my teeth painted. It was fun to like and so my job was to scare you out of the haunted house from the last room. And so apparently that's like a very memorable part, so like they really would do a great job on my makeup. Cosmo Mariano, he is amazing. He's the makeup artist. He's one of the makeup artists, and Sean Steiner is or Seeger, Sean Seeger, I apologize, first year at Bates. They are so good, and there's many other fabulous makeup artists there too, but Cos would do my makeup every night, and it was so amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Because it's like the last person you see, so they like really, instead of just like quick face paint, they like invested in my look.
Right, absolutely. Send
Yeah.
it home. I mean,
Yeah.
you really want to scare the shit out of somebody in the last room. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
absolutely that's great.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, we saw some cool shit there when we went.
Yeah, it was fun. Really fun.
They were really desperate for actors this year after COVID. It was like hard. So if anybody listening wants to act at Bates Motel next year, come hang. We just had our company party on Saturday too, and I won an award, House Standout. It was like my first year actor, and like from
Do you get to choose? I'm sorry. to
no,
interrupt you.
yeah, you can say like where you want to be. Or like what you'd be interested in doing, but they, I think in the past they used to have like actual auditions, basically just to see if you were like brave enough to like hack it in a haunted house.
Right. Yeah, you can't get out and be like,
Right.
who?
But now they're just like, we're not critiquing you on your acting. Like we just need people here.
Right.
But apparently in the past they would have like over 150 actors almost every night, and this year it was like 50. Yeah.
I'd be interested in doing it. That'd
It's
be fun.
really fun, and you didn't even have to go like every single night. And Anne and Randy Bates, who run that place, are amazing people. It's like they treat us so kindly. And after the company party, like they're there, you get, like there's like an award ceremony. They feed you. It's at Duffers across the street.
Right.
Oh my God. They are just salt of the earth. The nicest people, have been doing it for 30 years and legitimately care so much about the well-being of all the actors there and that everyone's having a good time. And yeah, they're just the freaking best, man.
That's great.
It
That's
was
great to hear
such
that
a great
there's people like that
experience.
still,
Yeah.
succeeding. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
Bates Motel is an institution around here. Like that's every Halloween.
That's a Delco
What are we
staple.
gonna do? Well, yeah, we might go out somewhere else, but we're gonna hit Bates. one
Going
of
to
the
Bates
weekends,
Motel
like-
on scares the hell out of me. I went to Terror Behind the Walls before they canceled it. Everyone's pissed about that. As Aunt Terri one time, very early on in the Aunt Terri career. I was working at a restaurant, and there was like a restaurant company trip to like send everybody. It was a corporate restaurant,
Okay.
and so all the staff was able to go to Terror Behind the Walls one night. So they like fed us at the bar across the street, and then we all went. I brought Terri with me, like I brought the wig and the glasses and everything. So I'm dressing up, and at this point, like not a lot of people knew who she was. It was just like for me, like, oh, let's make a video, and I called it Terri Behind the Walls. And I was like made it on iMovie, and I'm like, who's making that sound? Is that a gunshot or a firework? Oh my God. And just like going through the whole thing, like, oh, the blood vein, what the hell is that? Just like, don't touch me. Jim, where the hell are you? Yeah, just like for Aunt Terri flipping out in the house was really fun.
That's brilliant.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! I wish I could have been in your like group that went through that.
Oh yeah. Yep. I have there's video of that. That's on, if you scroll, it's on the Instagram. Terry Behind the Walls.
I gotta look for that one.
That's awesome.
That's great for sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever plan to transition to like screen acting?
Yes, I would love to. Actually, meeting all these people at Bates Motel, some of them are involved with that. So it's nice to network and meet new people that do what you like. I just definitely into getting into that. It's just never been and come across my desk before. So, yeah, it's like, oh, how does one get into that? So
How did you get into the voice acting?
my
I don't think-
mother,
Okay.
she was a radio DJ, and she did commercials, and she mainly
did
did
remember that.
medical narration, which is like literally the hardest form of voiceover there is.
That's the fast talking.
Medical narration. So like a narration is usually long form, like reading books, which is very hard. This is medical. So like medical textbooks.
So you're talking about shit you don't even really know. You just
Really
have to recite
impossible to
them.
pronounce things. And my mom could do that. It's like so commercials are like a sprint, and narration's like a marathon.
Right.
And you have to keep your measured energy the entire time you're reading something. And it's easy in a commercial. It's easy for me in a commercial, so I've been doing it so long. But if you're a narrator and you need to take a lunch break, your voice has to sound the same. Your energy has to sound the same. Like, you know, if you're sick one day, like you're listening to a book on tape, like it's like 8 hours, but it's not all recorded in 8 hours, you know, it's recorded over like maybe a few days.
Right.
So it's, and I work at a studio in Center City. Sometimes I would freelance, like punch edit for them in Pro Tools. And, it's literally just start and stop while the narrator reads all day, but you're reading along. So I've read several books with them, and I have to make sure I'm reading along and making sure my narrator is like pronouncing the words correctly. Yeah, it's really fucking hard. But yeah,
sure.
so I got it from my mama.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yep,
That's
I did
awesome.
my first commercial when I was 2. I sat on her lap, and she had the headphones on and was telling me, like, Talia, say SmithKline Beecham Pharmaceuticals. SmithKline Beecham Pharmaceuticals. Like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, you have no idea what
Full
you're doing.
sentences, no speech impediment at 2 years old. Like, I could do a commercial.
I was reading your
Yeah.
bio. You could say broccoli and pharmaceuticals.
That's right. My mom wrote my bio. She made sure to put that in there. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how do you get paid? Like, how does the pay work? Is it
In voice acting?
residuals? Yeah. Like every time
Oh,
it
you
airs, you get
wish.
paid, or
Yeah, that'd be nice.
because isn't that how like a commercial on TV gets paid? Like every time it's aired.
So
or
it
for-
depends on several things. It depends on the market in which it's airing and the usage. So how long this person plans to use it. If you're in the union too, there's like studio fees. So some actors, if you're in a studio, like either the studio will charge a fee for using it, and so you want to make sure your client's paying you enough. The way it mostly works is you're paid one lump sum ahead of time, and if they want to reuse it, they'll repay you for another year of usage. If you need to edit something, if they want something revised, you get paid for that.
Okay. So meaning like if you
so it
recorded at my
depends.
studio, then I would get paid.
No,
Okay.
that's not necessarily how it works.
Okay, so I guess I was confused by what you said there in the beginning. Like
So the studio fee is like somewhere like in Center City that I record
Mm-hmm.
at Baker Sound Studios. They're established boutique studio. Like M. Night Shyamalan does his overdubs there. Like for something like that, they have ISDN lines. That's why I asked about that.
Mm-hmm.
ISDN makes it sound like the person sitting next to you, even though they're on the phone. It's a special phone line.
Right.
It's a little bit antiquated. They use Source Connect now. That's another trigger word. But basically, a studio like that's already an established like recording studio.
Okay.
Like there might be a fee associated with that to use their really high end equipment, and their time, and that's that for me personally isn't a factor
And
because
is that a fee that you have to pay?
no.
Okay.
Specifically, I think it's different for every voice actor. To be honest, it's not really one answer, but some actors like will charge somewhere a studio fee, or as a voice actor with your own studio, you can charge a studio fee for some clients, because you're using your equipment to
Right.
make it. But at Baker, I am in their talent pool, and they've known me and my mother since I was a baby. So that's just a lucky thing for me specifically. And they know to call me if they get a client that says, I need a woman, a Caucasian between 25 and 35, upbeat. Like, that's my voice print. Like, you want me. So they'll, hey, send me an audition, or hey, like, or they'll just like my demos on their website so the client can listen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it varies, but it pays really well.
That's
if you
awesome.
play your cards right. The catch is constantly booking voice work. Like you can't just quit your job and do voice acting.
Yeah, it seems to be that you have to build up recognition within the industry to get. Because I was looking at the pay grades for voice actors, and it seems like you start something like 18 to 20,000 a year, mostly because like
If you're only
unknown.
doing voice acting,
yeah, just
Yeah.
voice acting. Like you're making.
I don't
like
even make that much.
18 or 20 a year, solid dedication, and that's not being known. The average, and this again, these numbers come off of Google, so it's not,
Being part of an agency is another big thing. And in order to be a part of an agency, you have to have a legit package. And they'll get you the jobs. And what you really want is like a national commercial.
Right.
Because if it's regional, it's not as much money. If it's national and everyone in the country is going to hear it, they're spending big bucks on that commercial. Like,
Right.
that's the one you want. That's the one the agency can get you. Because they have access to all the people that are casting for that.
yeah,
That
it's
cream
simply-
cheese commercial. How long did that take you to record?
The cream cheese commercials? Okay, so here's the thing about demos. They're not all commercials that have just legit aired on the radio.
Okay.
I had a voice coach, which for anybody who wants to be a voice actor, go get a voice coach. Just because you have a good voice does not mean you can just jump into voice acting. You have to learn how to read. You have to have proper diction. Like, how are you standing? How do you mark your copy? So, and then a voice coach will help you put a demo together. And a demo is an example of your voice print. So it's like a fingerprint, but it's your voice.
So you're almost sort of making your own commercials just
Exactly.
for fun, or just
Exactly.
for the demo reel.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to display your range as a voice actor
Exactly.
for the client shopping
Yes.
you.
It's not just here's all the voices I can do in 60 seconds. It's you want me for a commercial? Here's all the ways I can sound doing commercials. This one's for a kid's play school. Like this one's for something sexy. Like where can your voice go? What's your range? Exactly. So, yeah, and it's different for it's every genre is different.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just nuts. Like to be able to. It's cool to be able to have that kind of range. You know what I
It's
mean? Like,
really cool. Yeah.
you can have so much fun with that. Like that's.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun making my demo. My voice coach is named Eve Elliott. She's fantastic. She's got her own recording studio in Cherry Hill. And I actually met her because my grandmom, she loved to save articles for me when she would read one. She's like, this is about a voice actor in Cherry Hill. And I was like, she's actually studied with Dawes Butler. And Dawes Butler, if you know anything about cartoons, was like a lot of the Looney Tunes. And she studied with him in LA. And I was like, she lives in Cherry Hill. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. And then I was reading and it was like, contact Eve for like, be your voice coach. I was like, sweet. So I contacted her. I was like, hey, like, I've already established like I work at iHeart, but like, I've just done this my whole life. I've never actually had a coach.
Right.
And I wasn't booking a ton of like, it was like here and there I would get, but I've been doing it forever. Like there's no really great excuse why I'm not a bigger voice actor.
Right.
And so what she did was like, holy shit, like you've literally been doing this and you know people, but like you haven't sat down and studied it and thought about it this way. And this is coming from someone experienced. Like if you're just somebody who has a good voice and wants to get into it, like this, I didn't even know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
So she helped me discover my range because she knows how to convey her knowledge.
Right.
So, yeah, helped me discover my range and helped me pick out really great pieces of copy to make a great demo with. So that's how that happened. And we picked, Philadelphia cream cheese. You should lead with that. That's perfect. You're from Philly. And like, it's your happy, upbeat sound. Philadelphia cream cheese. Everything about it is irresistible. So like, we did that one. And I drive a Volkswagen Beetle. So I was like, I want to do like a Volkswagen Beetle, like fake, like rock and roll, like Volkswagen Beetle. Your trip is going to be far out, man. I made that up. I made that up. That's
It's
so
funny
good.
because like it almost seems fake. Like
It is.
like
It's acting.
Not fake. not you being fake, but like just when you did the cream cheese one, like watching you. do
watching
that,
a voice
it's like
actor in person do it. Yeah, it's
having
weird.
a conversation with you this whole time, and then all of a sudden, like you flip into
Uh-huh.
that, like that wasn't real.
It's one of my party tricks.
Yeah, there's clearly an on-off switch there.
Yes.
Like, that's not. You know what? I was driving to work one morning, and it's a crime to pay more.
Everybody
than a dime.
talks to me about her.
Everybody. I had to look her up because I was like, who is this
Who
girl?
is that?
Like, is she somebody from around here? Is she national?
Did you find
Like,
out?
Yeah, I did, and I don't remember who she is now. But
I could find out because I used to work there, so I could find out who they hired to do it.
At that dealership?
it's
That's amazing.
It's a quick.
You
like-
know that the direction that they were looking for was like literally give me Marissa Tomei for my cousin Vinny.
I said.
And I
said
can't
Marissa
tell
Tomei
you
and
how
Fran
many people
Drescher.
have asked if it's me. People that I know think it's me.
Yeah, it's like very.
And I'm like, you know what?
Brooklyn
I fucking wish it was because that
Yeah.
girl's caking off of those.
They're on constantly.
Yeah.
There's no way she didn't get paid
One
shit.
time down.
style. Yep.
No credit amnesty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
It's a crime
exact-
to pay more than a dime. At Springfield Mitsubishi.
It's her.
I could do it.
and free promotion on the podcast. Like, no, that's the exact same voice.
Yeah,
Like,
if you need another one of those, I will do it. Yeah.
Hook her up, man.
If any other dealerships are listening and you want a kitschy little character, I will do it.
I work for a Land Rover dealership.
I don't know why me and Kaz were joking around that we want to film like a fake car dealership commercial, but it's Delco.
Yes.
Come on down to Shitbag Motors. Like, yeah, like,
I can help. I do film editing.
oh my God, you do?
Yeah,
Let's talk.
let's talk.
Laura Evans,
we'll talk
that's who it
about
is.
Okay. Does she a professional? Oh, obviously, but like, what's
She's
that?
on voice123.com.
Okay.
That's
She's on a pay to
she-
play.
Yeah, she does have a profile or whatever.
Does she have a headshot?
Last active 14 years ago.
Does she have a headshot?
Yeah, there's
Let me see.
a picture up here. I don't know how in depth that profile is,
Interesting.
but one exists.
Amazing. I was curious about that. I'm like, how did they cast her?
And like, yeah, they use the same ones too, like for the seasons, like they do like the special Halloween one.
So every time she gets renewed, and yes,
Mm-hmm.
and like they're coming back for it. I have a fabulous client right now. They're a casino in Kentucky, and I booked them with my home studio during quarantine. And they need commercials every fucking week.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
What
awesome.
else
Yeah.
is there to do in Kentucky?
I don't need an accent. It just
Mm-hmm.
happens to be in Kentucky. And everyone's like, are you going to go to the casino? I was like, probably not. But like, if I'm there, it would be cool. It's like, I'm the voice on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
We have a winner. Like, yeah, one of those. And then their television commercials, I'd voice those. And all their radio commercials, their phone, when you call the casino,
Mm-hmm.
press 1 for Garrison Oaks Steakhouse. Like all of that. I do. I do that
awesome.
too. Yeah. I am like their voice.
Oh my god.
It's a sick gig.
I
And
want to hire you to do like prank phone calls.
oh my God, let's do prank phone calls. That would be so funny.
Yeah, I record that.
I'd be really good at that.
That'd be
I have
hell
no,
yeah.
no shame.
Yeah, we used to do these prank phone calls where like I would call like Acme. And be like, hold on a second, and then I call McDonald's across the street.
Oh, you would like put them on
and
the
then
phone.
I put them on the phone together.
Did you see the one? Was it Jimmy John's? It's too.
No, we're not.
Now we're
I'll
back.
have to record
Okay.
over it. Save off and silly.
Yeah, you are right. It's all good. We're good.
Audio engineer problems.
Yeah.
Oh my God, have you ever lost the whole podcast?
Nope.
No, don't speak that into existence.
Knocking on wood.
Or whatever this shit is.
I've lost like great takes of a
So-
commercial before, and I'm like, no.
We're poor, so we're recording on this thing.
Yeah,
If we were recording on my computer at home, which is a desktop computer, which is not portable,
That's
then it would be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But we're recording on this, so
Processing is not the best.
The best. So when we get into like a 2.5 hour podcast,
Oh my god, are we in a 2.5 hours? Has it been that long?
2 hours and 18 minutes.
Oh my god,
Shit gets
we
a
love
little
each
wonky
other.
sometimes. We were hoping to like do video, like in our one program.
I was gonna
the
say you
OBS,
should
like-
do video. I put lipstick on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's 8:00 at night. I put lipstick on.
Well, I'll take a picture together. And
Okay.
make it worth it.
Sweet.
Right.
But yeah, shit gets a little wonky. But then you just have to hit record again, and it's all good.
Nice.
With three of us, one of us is usually keeping an eye, you know.
Yeah.
So it
That's
never
why there's
goes
this
more than
big
30
fucking
seconds.
screen.
Yeah,
even,
that's why the guest doesn't have to worry about the sound waves.
Right.
Yeah.
My back is to the screen.
Everyone's like, where should I sit? We're like, we're going to look at that thing.
We're gonna
You
look
don't
at
need to
that
worry
thing.
about
Yes,
that.
you look at us. Good idea.
And you said that just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't lose much at all. Maybe a minute.
It was the dump button, hon. You hit the dump button.
Hit the dump button. Speaking of the dump button, I wanted to mention that like I learned about the dump button when I was on tour. I played in Columbus, Ohio. I'll talk about that later. I talk about it too much on the podcast. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'll tell you about it off mic. But we did a radio show in Columbus, Ohio, and I didn't know it was a college like radio show. So I'm thinking it was just for the college or like some kind of podcast or something. And I'm just cursing like nobody's fucking business.
Delco.
And I see the dude in the other room like,
They didn't warn you?
no. And then like they were like, all right, time to hit a commercial. And then they hit a commercial like, stop fucking cursing.
I was college, but they really should have warned you.
Yeah.
And like
That's their fault.
also,
Of course
you
they
can't
should've.
curse on the radio. You didn't know?
No.
It's like common knowledge.
I was
But you were a child.
never
George
did. I
Carlin
was
did a whole
20
skit about words you can't say on TV and radio.
That's right.
First off, I was 23, again, thinking it was just to the college.
Right.
If I knew it was on like FM radio
Yeah.
or whatever.
They should. It's part of the etiquette. Like it's just the spiel you give. Warn you. You know, don't no f bombs.
They didn't.
That's why I say it's on them. I mean, they should have.
Well, that's the
prepped him.
beauty of podcasts. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't matter what the
Go
fuck
back
you
and
say.
edit it. We're not live, so we're all good.
Yeah, it's all editable. I really miss Danny and Dave's podcast. Did you ever listen to Clean Shaven and Misbehaving?
A
Oh,
little
yes.
bit, yeah.
Oh, that was a nasty one.
Yeah, Vinny.
I think they had to take it
told us
down
about
because
those.
of somebody's job. But I was trying to listen back to an episode of my friend from the Bates Motel because he was on one, and they were like, "Oh, we had to take that down."
Oh shit.
Yeah. I think he tried to use a different name, but Dan's the worst at like not using people's names.
We had a
Yeah,
rule
he
about
mentioned
that
that
when
when
we
he was
first
here.
started, and like we were using names, but we were using initials, not real names.
There you go. That's a great idea. Just I know that Danny was really bad at it, and I love his like gusto for being like transparent.
Yeah.
And because like how everyone was like, wow, this is so funny, and like the second you're just like, don't give a shit, and you're balls to the wall. Like some people are getting hurt, but like it's good content.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. On
I'm still waiting to get contacted by Slayer Kid, by the way.
oh my god,
Who? What am I?
Slayer Kid.
Slayer Kid. Remember
Yeah.
we were talking.
To Danny about Slayer Kid. He's like, come on.
I bet you
want to talk
Danny
with
can
Ari?
get you Slayer Kid.
You know Slayer Kid.
Dude,
Do you
I
know
don't even
Bitchin'
remember.
Styles 666?
No.
Do you know who that is? There's like he was like do you know the account like New York Nico? Like it's like a pretty big account of where he is like crazy people from New York. He's just like always on the scene. There's this one guy people know around New York who has like curly hair. He's like really into like hair metal. And he's always like fully rocking out on the subway with his headphones on, like obnoxiously. Like people like move away. His hair's everywhere. He's like crazy, like air guitar, and he actually rips on guitar. I think he's a little bit Aspergian because he says certain things, and I'm just like, you don't say that. Like,
Is that a real?
it's like ready to rock and choke on my cock, and I'm just
great
like,
fucking
no, yeah.
Is that a real term?
I think so. I don't. Again, he's
It
a
is
little,
now.
Badass
he's a
thing I've
little bit
ever-
autistic, I think, like legitimately, and he's amazing at guitar, and he lifts, and he's like crazy, but he's bitchin' Styles, bitchin' Styles.
Gotta look
Yeah,
this up.
he's like an asshole, but he's really, really good at guitar, and he's a character, and it's almost like he doesn't know it. He tried to create a band called Leather Rebel.
That's a badass name.
Right?
is.
I think he could really make something of himself. And last I just saw a post today, like I was like, I'll follow Bitchin' Styles, even though he's kind of like an incel. He's like, well, ready to rock and choke on my cock. I'll show these bitches what's up. And I'm just like, oh my god, you're so gross. But
But you're
Can't
kind of
lie.
cool at the same time.
kind of cool. It's like a character, but it's just like
I want to know how he is when he goes home.
how
Like,
what?
How he is like when he's home and he's by himself.
Well, he's like smoking bowls in his bathroom and like teaching people riffs on YouTube. He's crazy. Bitchin' Style 666.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to look him up. He's so
I always like
funny.
wondered how people like that are like when they're not in front of people. It's just like
Probably the same.
hello darkness, my old friend.
He's like at a Planet Fitness in leopard leggings, like bench pressing and going like, whoa! Like, yeah, he's great. He's got big curly
man.
hair. I think he's Jewish. He's so funny.
Oh my God. I gotta Google this. I
Yeah.
completely have a mental image
You're welcome.
like, of what
You're
I'm expecting
welcome
to
ahead of
see.
time. He's ridiculous.
That's hilarious. That's probably why like I'll never do anything with music because I'm not that like
Shameless.
not that out there.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, here's a riff.
See,
And I
everyone
just
wants to
play
get
it
everything
as a riff.
perfect, but it's just like, just fucking put shit out there. You'll get it perfect or not. But like, people will just be glad that something's out there.
Bill, what do you know about trying to get things perfect?
Too much.
That's the conundrum. Everyone's like, it's not good enough. It's like, who gives a shit? No one's listening to it anyway. Just put it out.
That was always.
I have
where
a friend
him
who
and I
won
did it.
Grammys,
again-
and that's his philosophy. He won a Grammy for a fucking Faith Hill song, and it used to be like, oh, I want to make it perfect. He's from Delco or Montco, whatever, but he lived in Ardmore. He moved to Nashville, and his wife and him like win award, like they're like Nashville singer songwriters. And his whole philosophy, because he would have people come to his home recording studio all the time, and like he would help produce their little EPs and stuff, and it was people want to get everything so perfect, and he's like, fuck it. Who cares? Just put it out there.
Yeah.
It's so you talked about making music for yourself. That's what I do for myself, and it's how I want it to sound. Like I know I hear it in my head. I know how I want it to sound, and if it doesn't sound like that, it eats me the fuck
Yeah,
alive.
but you gotta get over that, man.
Bill
You
is so.
Right, and
gotta
that's
get
what
over
is.
it, or you're
I'm
never gonna do
trash.
fucking anything because you're gonna be waiting for your album to be perfect.
And then you see like
Bill is
I'm
so
sure
fucking
I'm sure
mechanical.
you.
That's what
I'm
it
sure
is.
you know this by recording on the track. You see like take 1,
Yes.
take 2. When I'm at
Thanks
for not
mansplaining.
345.
Take 71, take 72.
Yeah,
Mansplaining.
I said thank you for not mansplaining.
I
And he's
did-
like, I'm sure you know this. I'm like, you guys are so great. So I come into these situations, they're just like, this is a recording equipment.
So
I'm
this
like,
is a
"Oh, thanks."
microphone.
You have me on here because I'm in digital recording. Got it. Yeah. No, but you guys are not like that. So thanks.
You gotta walk around. What do I do with these? This is a fucked up
Yeah.
bracelet.
Why do they call them cans? Yeah.
Well, instantly, I think you broke that whole. Not that I would have done it anyway, but you broke the whole thing by saying, "What are you using?" You started talking shop with me, like
Yeah.
as soon as you walked in. But yeah, on take like 350, I'm like exhausted. I'm looking at it. I'm like playing the same fucking riff.
It's not going to be good at that take anyway. Take
It's
8
not.
was probably perfect. And
Yeah.
honestly, 9 times out of 10, take 1's always the one.
Yeah.
At least the voiceover. The client's always
take
just
one's
like,
just a practice run.
yeah, right. Well,
Always.
music, it could be different. But the client's always like,
Yeah.
I want it to sound like this. And then you like bust it up on take 1. And then by the time you're at take 12, like the engineer's like, all right, what do you think of this? And it's take 1. They're like, it's perfect. I'm like, yeah.
I think another issue with me too is that I use Superior Drummer, which are you familiar with? Superior
I'm not,
Drummer?
actually.
Superior Drummer is just a drum software program.
Okay.
Sounds real. It's just a drummer that was in a recording studio, hit the snare
Very
500
cool.
times, hit the tom 500
Yeah,
times.
so you have real drum pieces.
right.
to
So
use
when
for
you're
music. Got
when
it.
you program the drums, it's a different sound every time. So it sounds like a real drummer.
Oh, that's
Like,
awesome.
It sounds like it's amazing, and the sounds you can get are crazy, but it's on the grid. It's perfect
Yeah.
every time. So like, if my performance isn't perfect, it sounds
Uh-huh.
like a shitty guitar player playing with a great drummer.
You got to put your dick into it, man. Just forget about it.
I'm gonna try that next
Yeah.
time. Just pull my dick out.
That's
put
what
it
I
in
would
my
say
guitar.
whenever I was like playing music. I'm like, come on, get your dick into it. Put your pussy into it. Like get into it. Like music shouldn't come from like this. Like it should come from the fucking dick, man.
That's something Danny would say.
Right?
be home
Yeah,
talking
that's
to
why we're
myself.
friends.
Gotta put your dick into it.
Yeah,
I'm-
it's about the feel.
I'm seeing that connection. But yeah, absolutely, dude. But that's like I said a few minutes ago. He's fucking mechanical.
Yeah.
and I'm like,
And
dude,
you
let's
need that.
jam something.
You need that
Let's-
in a band for sure.
It's phenomenally. It's absolutely a
But,
benefit. I don't mean
having
that,
that
in a negative way.
foundation, like I challenge you to just like let it go and fucking put your dick into it and have some fun. Fuck
I've
the
been
song.
telling him
Take
that
big bucks.
Literally, like
So
fuck your music.
recently,
literally.
Try paying his roommate.
Oh god.
Gin, 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 gin. Fuck.
yeah, you hear click, 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 fuck, and then you hear the smack of the space bar.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Fuck this riff.
How late you going to be doing this?
Shut up. As late as I need to. Lately, though, normally I would write with a program called Guitar Pro.
Okay.
Which, if you're not familiar with that, is just a guitar tablature program. You can pick the key that you want to write in, and like puts all the notes on a fretboard, so like I don't have to think about it.
Cool.
It's just right there for me. And as I'm writing, like riffs on the guitar, I'm looking, and then I'm keying it in, so like, I don't forget it. And recently, I haven't been opening that at all, and I've just kind of been like letting things just
So you're letting go a little bit.
letting go a little bit.
Slowly but surely.
As far as recording, though, I still have a long, long way to go for that.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Embrace the process.
put my dick into it.
That's right. Put your dick into it, people. I feel like on that note.
On that note, let's go to fuckery of the day, and then we'll wrap it up here. So we ask our guests in their line of work or whatever they do if they have any fuckery, anything they've dealt with that is absolute fucking bananas. That you walk away from and you're like, that was fuckery.
Like Danny getting locked up in the jail cells that he put the tiles in.
My fuckery does not hold a candle to Danny's fuckery. At all.
Dig deep. Put your dick into it.
Yeah. Maybe can you guys say some fuckery so I can think of a fuckery?
I can't keep saying the same one.
No, you gotta have it.
Is that the only fuckery that you've experienced?
No, there's other fuckeries.
So I was reading the other day that a marathon
you know what?
runner shit her pants because she didn't want to stop.
A lot of them do that, actually.
So to me, I saw that headline and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, dude, I don't care. I'm competitive. Sure, yes. But like, to that level? Mm-hmm. Like, I play video games. All right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to be like, I'm so dedicated to this game that I'm not going to go use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing
For
that I
them,
can
it's
do.
about like time.
I understand that.
And also, I think like after running a marathon, like your legs like don't work. It's like different.
Yeah. I mean, it's high.
It's like, it sounds crazy, but they actually they do that a lot.
That's what I started to figure out from this article, and I'm like,
Pure fuckery.
Yeah, this is fucking.
I think
crazy.
running marathons is some fuckery a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's the real.
Do you know the
fuckery
story of
it is-
marathon? That's some fuckery.
Give us the story.
It's like a Greek legend.
Yeah.
The reason why it's 26.2
Heard it, but I really
miles
want you to tell this.
is because a guy had I forget the context, but he had a serious message to deliver, and he ran 26.2 miles and delivered the message. And what happened right after he delivered the message?
He die?
He died.
Shit.
And people are running marathons for fucking what?
It's like when I say, like, who wakes up and, like,
You are
wants to start,
mocking
like,
death when you
I mean,
you run a marathon.
It's super badass, but it's just like a whole thing, and I'm just like, that's not for me.
Shit, dude.
Not
I
for
could
me.
not.
More
wakes
power
up and
to
is
you.
like, I just want to run.
Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz, right.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. But it's like with anything. Like,
I'm pretty tired.
I love water. I think
gonna
I
go
want to
home
sell
now.
water bottles. I think that's what I
Right?
want to do. I want to wake up and, like, who fucking just wakes up and just wants to do that?
Yeah, no, that's
Nick
not.
Diaz wakes up and says, I'm swimming from Alcatraz.
I have fuckery.
They have very, very.
I have a
brain cells.
fuckery. You'll love this.
There we go.
Okay.
I was like, I want to think of a funny one instead of just the daily little fuckeries that happen. Bates Motel. It's the last room. Everyone gets scared from the room before, and then you're in this little vestibule. So often the door is closed and people don't, you don't really touch things in the haunted house. You walk through. It's a set.
I remember that last one. You go in, you're like, all right.
You don't
not
really know
sure
how to
what
get
door go.
out.
Yeah.
Some people figured out there is an exit sign, but to be fair, there are exit signs in other rooms. You can, in an emergency, I think almost every room you can exit from, but it's not part of the attraction. This exit is. You're supposed to exit through these
Yeah,
doors.
there's fire marshal exits, and then there's this
Yes,
one.
they're all the sign is the same. So in their defense, and there's like candles on the wall that are the same color red as the exit sign. So I can see visually why you would be like not noticing it, but still fuckery. However, so people are getting scared in the vestibule. I do my little spiel. I scare some of them, and it's a really big group. And I hear the people ahead of them, or like, so people are coming out, they're getting scared. I have to like kind of like reset myself. And I hear an Aunt Terri turn around and go, "Who farted?" And I was like, "Uh-oh." And I'm in character with my nasty teeth and I got to open my mouth and scare people. Who farted? It was treacherous toxic, noxious, obnoxious. It was the worst fucking, the worst fart I've ever smelled in my life. I couldn't open my mouth, and I broke character. And a kid looked at me, just like, "Did you do that?" Like the way he was looking at me, and I already look like a dead person, and I'm just like, I swear to God, and. I just looked at a guy, and in my nasty teeth and like death prosthetics, I go, "Oh boy!" And I just like I couldn't. I was physically starting to make me sick, and there's people coming through. And I was like thinking about it, getting me gaggy. I walk like I go through the trap, like the trip door that I have in there, and close it while people are still. I just opened the door so they could figure out, like, hey. Get out of the fucking haunted house and air it out. And I walked out and went out the side door and stood out there like gagging for a minute before I could even go back in.
Oh my God.
Pure fuckery. Farted in my scene. Who farted? And I was like,
And it has to be an Aunt Terri voice, right?
Of course, it was literally Aunt Terri.
Sorry, there was a hoagie I ate earlier.
Oh, someone may have shit
Sorry,
their
Ma,
pants.
it was my hoagie I ate earlier.
So that's
It was
my
actually that
fuckery.
marathon runner. She came from Nan's Motel. She made
Good one.
it. She made it through the haunted house in record time.
Yep.
Though.
That last room really scared the shit out of me.
It like made me think of like the Eddie Doyle one.
What's that?
Oh, what was
Right.
his fuckery?
Well, it wasn't his fucking.
I was going to ask you who farted in his car.
Well, no,
Oh,
somebody had like recently come from the bathroom and drug it in.
No, poo poo.
Well, he had thought, and he had
I
to, like
remember that video,
yeah, he had
dude.
actually go.
Like they didn't wipe right.
That's what he was thinking. He was like, "Do you smell that? Like, what is that?" And initially,
It was two older dudes,
Yeah.
and they got in the car, and he's like, the first dude gets in, and it's cool. When the next dude gets, he's like, something fucking
bad.
stank.
Oh no.
He's like, you guys gotta, are you cool? Like, do you need to go use the bathroom?
My God.
And this dude is like getting belligerent at this point. And he's like not leaving. And Eddie's like, you gotta, bro, you can't, no,
you can't
no,
stink
it's
like
not
this
happening.
in here. I just watched a Seinfeld episode where the car stinks. Do you remember that one? And it
remember
transfers
that
onto Elaine and she loses boyfriend.
I'm not a big Seinfeld person, but there's a couple that were good.
I was, and then it's on Netflix. So I've been like putting it on before
I know,
bed.
everybody's freaking out.
And I couldn't fall asleep last night because I have one eye open watching the stinky car episode. Like Jerry tries to like sell his car. It's because a valet had really bad BO and it like stuck to the car. No matter what they did, it was stuck in Elaine's hair, George's coat. Yeah, and Elaine had this guy she was seeing, and she's like, Jerry, like, what does it mean, like, when a guy says he has to leave early? She's like, it's bullshit. It's a lie. You're choosing sex over getting up early, like, it's a no-brainer. And finally, she puts it together. It's fucking Jerry's car, and, like, she smells. And she's like, he thinks I have BO! Me! Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh,
Holy
God.
man, I would
yeah, that was rough. Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, you guys gotta go."
Yo, BO is gnarly though. I will say the
Seriously.
other day I took a shower the night before. I didn't put deodorant on before I went to bed, and I sweat in my sleep.
Uh-oh.
And I woke up the next morning and I smelled. I'm like, oh, I took a shower. Let me just wipe it with some baby wipes.
Yeah.
And like, didn't go away.
Oh, no.
I had to scrub it with
Sometimes
soap.
it just permeates.
It's bad too.
I use natural deodorant because I can get away with that.
He called the funk.
My
All right,
dainty
dude, it was
woman.
a funk. Like like when you can sit there and smell yourself.
If you can
like,
smell
you're
yourself,
bad. Yeah.
go wash your ass.
And I literally just showered the night before. I didn't have to wash my ass. I was clean.
washed your ass,
Put your dick into it.
put your dick into it, wash your ass, and for God's sakes,
Yep. It's a nice way of telling you to go fuck yourself.
why don't you go wash your ass?
Wash your ass and put your dick into it.
Yeah, wash your ass, put your dick into it. I want you coming out clean.
So bad.
Yeah.
So,
now on
so
that note,
bad.
So bad.
That's like the Bam Margera voice. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
So bad. I like to skate so bad. Yeah, I saw Bam Margera's mom April at the King of Prussia Mall buying some jewelry. Westchester. It's that, but he's got this speech about him where this happens. Yeah, I do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. I love doing the Bam.
Great.
Jesus Christ, Novak, what the fuck are you doing?
That's awesome. Time to take us out. Put your dick into it.
I'll do it.
Full dick.
All right, everybody, that was a Hollowcore podcast.
Why don't you take us out and do Vinny's voice?
You do it first, and then I'll imitate it exactly.
I don't wanna do that.
let's
No,
do it.
I'm
Let's
not-
do it.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I'm getting made fun of here.
All right, everybody.
Go ahead. Tough guy.
Tough guy.
All right, everybody. That's this episode of the Hollowcore Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Fuckery of the Day, Facebook.com/the Hollowcore Podcast, Instagram.com/the Hollowcore Podcast. You can find us on all streaming platforms where podcasts are listened to.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
See, Steiner should have did it.
I don't
the
know. What else do we
podcasts.
got? YouTube. Go on YouTube.
YouTube.
I just did that. I'm staying up late doing this shit. Somebody please go on YouTube and watch these videos that I'm making.
And I like 8
There's really no
subscribers.
videos. It's just pictures. But still.
Is
please
it at
click
Hollow
play.
Chord Podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hollowcore
YouTube,
Podcast. Somebody search
Hollowcore
it.
Podcast.
Talia's gonna fucking subscribe out of pity now.
Tally's going to fucking subscribe out of pity now.
And Terri, too. Talia, thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. It was so much fun talking to you guys.
It was.
Peace out. Put your dick into it.